He's standing by in Liberia. He's going to be joining me here very shortly. Welcome to the show. Okay, good evening, good afternoon. Very shortly, our folks are going to be here, but I am Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Let's see here. We're going to be having a conversation here. The race is on in Liberia for the fight of this building, which is the first branch of government. We want to say welcome to all our viewers and listeners. Thank you so much. This is a special edition. So we're going to be talking to one of the representative aspiring from Greater Liberia, that is Bon County. He's joining me in via phone. As you know, the current situations is not easy, so we prefer to have it, but you have taken the load. Let's see, Mr. Samuel. Samuel is here. Sam, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, good evening. I hate to call people name the wrong way, so I will give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, and we'll get right down to the wire. Good evening, and welcome on LPR.
Thank you so much. This is an opportunity. And I just want to say thank you to all our listeners and people watching. My name is Samuel Babajua, and I'm contesting in District 3 in Bon County.
Samuel Babajua, contesting for District number 3, Bon County, which is also a battleground. Okay. Well, my question, are you already on the ballot? Have you been certified by any seat to contest for this seat? Let's get it right.
No, for now, man, you refer to me as an aspirant because the vetting process and the nomination process have not started. Okay. It will be after the voter registration. Then we will go through the process of nomination. And one next qualifies a person who has been nominated. They can now become a candidate. So I'm an aspirant for now.
Okay, I thought you were going to jump ahead of your shadow here, and I'm going to ask you which of the NEC has satisfied you. Okay, Mr. Babajuata, if you will, or Sam, to make it much easier for me, I don't want to call your name so wrongly. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Hopefully this now going to be the last one, but we are aware because of the current situation in Liberia. So you are not visible via stream because I like to interface in real time with my guests. But notwithstanding, what is the message is more or less important. Okay, let's get the conversation yet. District number 3. Is there any? In fact, let me give you the opportunity to introduce yourself in the best way you can in a minute, and then we get to the issue of the day.
Okay, so like I said earlier, my name is Samuel Babajua. I was born August 6, 1990, during the heat of the Liberian Civil War in Bon County, specifically Kwaya Town. I grew up in the town. I attended the Kwaya Public School and later attended the AGM school in Banka. 2002, Tokake War left me, the Mainland War that left made me to leave Banga City, and I left for the bush. And I went back again. After the war, I came back to Banga. From Banga, I came to Monrovia because of the inconsistency in school, educational progress and all the kind of thing. I had to leave from Banga, and I came to Monrovia, and I went through the rainfall of going to high school, graduated from high school, entered the University of Liberia. I first reading geology and couldn't make it because of the fact that I felt people were stepping on other people on the basis of when you graduate with geological degree, you have to be like finding it difficult to get a job, and I had to change college to go read public administration and management. And I graduated with a BPA, in public administration with emphasis in management. And I served the Liberian government for 7 years, serving both at the GSA from GSA, LITEPCO from LITEPCO, Ministry of Health. And I can say I'm a founding member of the National Public Health Institute. I'm married. I got married at age 23, and I have 3 kids. I also own a small NGO. My wife's name is Alicia Mo Babajua. I have a small NGO. I call it the High Self-Esteem Young Liberian Initiative Incorporated, one grant with the United Nations Development Program. I have a small company that I call the Royal Resident Group of Company. I've also had series of contracts and all of that. Apart from that, I work with my friend NGO, where I was able to write a grant proposal, and we were able to win the first 600,000 grant, the Enhanced Polio Surveillance through Community Engagement. I wrote that project along with my colleagues, and we were able to win 600,000 US dollars. And we were able to contribute to the fight against polio, meningitis, measles, and so many different things. And I've been working so hard in the district. I was born in the district, grew up in the district, just came to Monrovia, get education, and I've never left the district. I consistently live in the district. So that's me right there. My both parents are still alive, and I can say that's me right there. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a true son of Bon County. All right. So let's have a conversation here. Talk to me a little bit, Sam, if you were to call you. What prompted this decision? You are involved in some extensive communications just by the intro and things that you have been doing. Someone, a free thinker like myself out there, would say, hey, you should be fine. How you came to this conclusion, why you want to go to the capital? What is there for you? What are you taking there?
Okay, so first, I like I said, I got a background in project writing and all of that. The first thing we normally do, we try to identify the problem. What is it? What is the problem? So there's a serious leadership gap in Bon County Electoral District 3. So the leadership gap has to do with the current lawmaker doesn't understand the three cardinal functions of lawmaking. And based on that, our people are suffering from it. If you do not understand it, what happens to you is that you will not be able to give the people proper representation. Your representation, article, their survivability under you will have issue, will have conditions, and they will have to kind of like pray to you almost like God to survive. They'll have to be to your doorsteps. They have to sit on their whole day, wait for you to give them peanut before they survive, and all of that. So there's nothing like innovative ideas, new innovative creative ideas that could bring about job creation, that could bring about good living condition. There's a serious leadership gap, and to the extent that my appearance in the district has gotten the entire intellectual class looking up to me, and even down to the people who people consider to be people who have not been to school are looking up to me to savage them. So the entire idea came about when I realized that except a true son stand up, in Deuteronomy chapter, I'm a religious person. Deuteronomy 19 verse 15, they say, look among you and pick one of your brothers so that he can be your king. So the idea is, I looking at the fact that if somebody who has a background, who suffered, I saw coconut to go to school the very first time, Kingdom Morovia, I was not staying with my family. I was staying with people, people calling Konju. I came to stay with people I have not seen from anywhere, and literally surviving, trying to make my way. And later when I realized that they were not taking care of my school business, I had to leave. And I literally started selling coconuts to survive. So knowing the background I come from and knowing that people are suffering and they're living in abject poverty, destitution is their common name, you have to be able to stand up and say, oh yeah, this is not right. You cannot, for example, you in the NGO sector, if you write proposal, the donor has to make a decision as to whether it's going to happen. But if you are in the public sector, like at the lower house, you can be able to provide bills. You can be able to provide ideas that your people can be able to benefit from. If you look at Bon County as a whole, you understand that this our current lawmaker had come. He comes from the background of becoming a city mayor, who was later dismissed and came to become a lawmaker. So the point I'm trying to raise from that point is,
so hold on
he should be giving the people.
Hold on one second.
We will get to him bit by bit, but I just want to give you why I came up with that statement. You should be able to create a better living condition for the people, especially when it comes to cleaning the environment, making the environment more conducive so that the people live and even benefit from their own, living condition. For example, the water tower that have been in Bon County, especially behind Bakalu, those people watching or listening to us, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. In the 80s, before even I was born, I told you I was born 1990. In the 80s, they had this water tower that was connected to the Jaw River. The Jaw River is passing in the center of Banga City. So that Jaw River was connected to, that water tower was connected to Jaw River. And it was giving the people both hot water and cold water, serving the people homes, both hot water and cold water prior to the war. After the war, it has been abandoned. So what can we do? We need to first try to do assessment. I was speaking with some friends from the U.S. who are, part of the Bon County, United Bon County Citizens in the Americas. I'm speaking to some of the, my friends from there. They have already made an arrangement, and people are supposed to come and do an assessment. We can have rehabilitated that. Whereby people used to spend $5 to $7 US dollar to get water in their homes. So now, I said, for example, Banga got over 50 to 60,000 population right now. So why if we just connect at least 10,000 persons and charge them $2 to that particular water plant and make sure that they get hot water and cold water in their homes?
You say you're going to charge them $2?
You can hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Hello, Sam?
Yes.
$2 why? The currency issue in Liberia is sort of
$2 US. $2 US.
That's why you're going to be charging the
yes, because way back they needed to pay $5 to $7 US. They were paying $5 to $7 US way back. But now you're only going to charge them $2 US for a whole month to serve them both hot water and cold water in their homes. But that if you're able to connect 10,000 persons, you're going to be raising something around 20,000 US dollar per month. If you time that money by 12 months, you're going to be raising 240,000 US dollar. That alone will create jobs for other people. People will be working. People will get good living conditions because they will have water in their homes. People will not be suffering from, water shortages and all the kind of thing in their homes, because the Jaw River is really is available. It doesn't get dry to the extent that no water can be there. Current water is there. So you already got a source of water. You only need the purification plant that will be able to purify that water and serve the people homes. I said when it comes to waste management, you got the businesses, you got over 10 to 20,000 people doing business in Banga City alone. And you're not managing the waste very well. So why have you charged them $2? You are the one that managing the city ordinance. Why if you charge them $2 instead of collecting $500, $300, $400 every 2 weeks? No, the whole week, the whole month, charge them only $2. And that $2, make sure it is collected properly with accountability, and make sure connect 10,000 person at least. You raise another $20,000.
So that hold on one second here. There's too much of 1,000, 20,000, 50,000 is too much. So someone listening out there, other critical voices will be, wait a minute, is he going there to impose financial burdens on the people, or is he going there to lobby as a lawmaker, if elected as the representative, to figure out, to work with organizations or government to provide more fundings that the water system be revisited? But before then, this district number 3 in question for which you are contesting, who is the current lawmaker there?
The current lawmaker is named and starred as Josiah Marvin Cole.
Marvin Cole.
Yeah.
Okay, Honorable Cole. Okay, so do you have, is there a political institution that you are affiliating, contesting as an aspirant, or what?
Yeah, so here is what happened right now. In what I understand about politics, at this point we're doing alignment, and we'll do what we call realignment. We're having political conversations with different institutions and all of that. So the one that was settled with us at the end of the day, that is a realignment. But right now, we're aligning with so many political parties, even the bigger ones, the one empowered. We're having conversations across the spectrum, because our focus is to become lawmaker, not to become president, not to become senator, but we have a single focus.
So what is the meaning of the alignment? Alignment with who?
Alignment, here is it, because in political struggle, there's few things you want to take into consideration. You want to have people who will be able to foster your dream, your aspiration, support your focus for your people, your developmental agenda for your people. Should you people take power? So if you have people who will not believe in salvation the people, it causes you more problems. So your ideologies and everything you promise the people will not be realized. So you have to be able to align and later realign. That is, people who will not agree with you, even though you're talking to them, but then at the end of the day, people who will agree with you, who got the same idea, and you at the end of the day, you align with them, I think realign with them and move on. That's how I like.
So let's hit the nail on the head. There are multiple political parties. Is there a specific party that you, in the meanwhile, align with in your political quest?
Yes, we're having conversations. We're having conversation with NANU. The standard bearer for NANU is call Dr. Clarence Moniba, 44 years old, a young person like me too. We're having conversation with the PUP, the people they call People Unification Party. That is, it doesn't have a they call standard bearer, but it's they call Nukwe and they call Senator Nukwe and all of that. They're here for it. So we're having different conversations. Even currently, we also trying to see if there are ways that we can be able to align ourselves with even the Unity Party. We will go. The point is, at the end of the day, it's not about the party. It's about the people. What we can be. Anybody that is willing to help our people, to save our people, to take our people from destitution, poverty, urgent poverty. We just want to see how better our life will become. Because at the end of the day, and somebody's talking about financial braiding, somebody thinking about financial braiding. When there's something that called pessimism, dependency syndrome. If we depend on people, and depend on either call donors and all of that, our country will not become better. Between Liberia and Ivory Coast, and a friend of mine who they did some research, he worked with a carry. Between Ivory Coast and Guinea, Liberia is importing $7 million dry pepper every year, every freaking year. Imagine that. As if we do not have land available. So you come to think of that. Let's say, for example, District 3 decided to take the opportunity to just plant pepper. And just plant pepper so that the dry season you supply Liberia, the entire Liberia pepper. Or even think about exporting pepper. And you make a lot of money. And if you had the opportunity for example, for the first year, you got to set up yourself, and you're setting all yourself, and pepper lasts for the hot pepper is for 3 months. And if you got a very good breed, it's for 3 months. And that 3 months, you harvest in it every 2 weeks. And if you're able to generate $7 million in pepper every single year, and you are just a small district with over 37,000 people, and you can generate $7 million, and that $7 million, let's say you are able to generate for within 5 years. The first year you have to settle yourself and all of that. So let's say the first 5 years, and that 5 years you're able to generate $7 million each. That's 35 million US. Let's say you use 30 million on job creation, on equipment, all of that. You will be left with 5 million US in your account. And one of the ideas I'm trying to introduce in District 3 is the issue of the idea of the District Development Council. The District Development Council helps.
Hold on 1 second. This talking about District Development Council. They do have that one, correct? Or is it not working?
It's not there. It's not in District 3 in Bon County.
So wait a minute. Do they have that in different district besides District 3?
It's working. It's working in Monserrado. It's even working in Kenya. It's working in Uganda. It's working in Uganda. It's working in South Africa as well.
So get me right here, because this what I call the social development fundings that comes from government. I believe every county they do have a representation, so that when fundings come, they go the district, the representative and the district council, they go and have these sort of conversations. Is it different from what you're talking about?
Yes. So here is it. At the level of Bon County, you got the county administration. So each district should have what we call the District Development Council, but it's not in existence in Bon County District 3 especially. So at the end of the day, the lawmaker is the one implementing projects, developmental projects in the district. I think you overheard a recent saga of erecting clinics and all of that, and invisible clinic, not even erecting, but you're saying erected clinic that is not in existence, that you can see. He's diverting funds from this side to this side, but I want us to really get into that.
Let's get it right. And we will try to reach out to Honorable Cole in the interest of fairness. I did, in fact, a press conference with one of the other lawmakers. They've been kind of boarding here, and we'll come to other issue. Are you saying all of those revelations, or all of those things revealed by Representative Cole, are they not existing? Is that what you're saying?
There's nothing they call the District Development Council, number one. And number two, all of the clinics you talk about are not in existence. And even the one that were, let's say, legislated from 2018 to current, I've been raising the issue. The only time people start to talk about it, when I say I was contesting, that's the only time people start to talk about it. People start taking it serious. I started raising this issue since 2018. The Paya Clinic, the hometown I was born, has been legislated long time into the national budget. Imagine from 2018 to current, you do not have even a portion of land that you would say Paya Clinic. Imagine that I work with the Ministry of Health, like I told you earlier. The accessibility criteria for health facility is 5 kilometers away. When you want to access any health facility, almost over 50 towns and villages are around the Paya town. But if you want to access clinic or a health facility from Paya, you have to move almost 40 to 50 kilometers away. Imagine that is even in violation of the article universal article health coverage. You understand? So we're not even in the scope of 5 kilometer or 10 kilometer or 15 kilometer or 20 kilometer, but over 40 to 50 kilometer away from health facilities. Imagine that. So I would like that, normally I've been trying to talk to other journalists. I would like that he and I appear on shows where we can be able to counteract some of these things and then put it in your face where are some of those wrongs he's doing. Because at the end of the day, when you go to talk to him, he's got this belief that he can beat anybody and nothing will come from it. I think I even sent you some photos of somebody he blooded for their own lane. That's where he is. That's who he is.
Okay, we will come to that. Let's say Saint Baba Juat is elected as the next representative for District number 3. Who will you caucus with?
Who?
Yeah.
Who will I caucus with?
We will have a ruling party. You will have opposition. I mean, how will your voting process looks like? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. If you check my website yet, let me give you this stuff. babajua2023.com. If you check it, you will realize I proposed 13 legislation. I'm willing to work with people who are willing to work in the interest of the people. Let me tell you, my both parents are subsistence farmers. I had an opportunity to come and sell coconut to go to school. That doesn't mean that I have left the class already. I'm part of them. I'm part of these people who are back there, who are down there. So I should be able to push their interests. Anybody willing to savage them, I'm going to align with them. Anybody willing to savage them, I'm going to align with them.
That's quite interesting. So we'll wait and see how that happens. So what is your strength? What is your own right standing right now? Representative Cole, more people say he get a political strength. How many persons in this race we are talking about?
No, right now we're almost about 11
contesting.
For now, yeah.
For that seat. And what are your chances?
Yeah. Oh, I'm 100% right now. If like I was giving the analysis, my clan, the clan that I come from, the folk working, that's the fourth Saturday. They coming, they call the week after next Saturday. They will be formally turning me over to the district. My clan alone has 4,466 votes, and the intellectual class are as well, getting glued to me. I just drop a line with, Radio Paraclet. They interview me. The entire media. They follow my track record. They investigated me. They follow me from the start. How I reached to the point I am, and they find that everything I'm saying, everything I'm doing is in accordance with my integrity, my parents' integrity, the people who believe in me. And so I stay a better chance, especially in Bone County, District 3. They have two major clans that you will talk about, the Jopro clan and the Bequer clan. And Bequer clan having to be the second largest clan. And I am a son of Bequer clan. The clan has decided, the clan have never had representative. They decided to carry me. That's one. Two, the Jopro clan. I got more family people living in the Jopro clan, which I know, apart from being family, like I told a lot of them, do not vote for me because I'm young. Do not vote for me because I'm your family. I want you to vet me. I want you to know whether I'm able to represent you. I want you to be able to see whether I'm able to deliver on these things. As per my track record, writing a grant proposal that won 600,000, that alone can tell you that I got a lot to bring to the district. But I do not also want us to depend on article on donor funding and all the kind of things. I want us to be able to better our life and adjusting our life to living for ourselves.
Yeah, but other people might be arrogant. If you that skillful, if you can do that and convince, because and I know the government is the most hired employer, but if you can engage your people outside of the Beltway, out of the systems, and create these jobs opportunity, don't you see that being very significant giving back to the country? Or is there something much deeper going to this building here that you really want to go to other than these initiatives that you are working on right now, you are involved with?
Okay, so yeah, so I love the question. Thank you so much. There's something more deeper. And the power that the legislature has never been utilized for years now. People literally live in the pocket of the executive that they should be checkmating. There's no check and balance. No check and balances because number one, people believe that when you getting your paycheck and getting more than your paycheck and going. Recently, you heard, I think somebody a year before last, the guy said they cut their salary. The legislature, especially lower house, they said they cut their salary. But then they cut their salary and allotted additional 30,000 US dollars. So it wasn't who were they fooling. So my point here is there are a lot of powers outside of the executive that is in the hands of the legislature. They have the power to impeach. They have the power. They got the developmental trajectory. They can willingly make this country better within a short period of time. Our effort of bringing all these things into Liberia, Liberia had the opportunity to get handphone across all the counties, the districts, and communities. But guess what? All the handphones are wretched now. They spoiled and they're not even being fixed. And as you bring in donor funding, you got to be able to align and work in the interest of the donor, one, and solve the problem that you see you identify. So instead of working with fear of how they call helping the donor, making sure you work in the interest of the donor, I want to work in the interest of my people. So even when I go in and see that there is issue, I can come back to plenary and
This
ask
is
for a budget recast, and then something can shift to the best way that the people can be able. So there are more better things, that there are more greater platform. That the legislature is a bigger platform that I will be able to work to solve a lot of bigger problems if I want to stay, instead of just want to stay in the how they call the NGO sector. I can bring my expertise. That's why we're telling the people we can set up a research team, we can set up a research center in Bonkani District 3 where we pull a lot of different grants. I'm not saying I'm going to neglect the idea. I'm just going to expand on the ideas that I have already and expand it and make sure that our district get better. I'm going to start from the district level. I got bigger dreams. I'm thinking bigger. I'm looking at my future. I'm looking at the future of the next generation. But I have to start somewhere. So I serve when I was serving in national government. I served, from junior management level. I went to senior management level, and all of that. I climbed the ladder, and now I'm coming to this level to get a bigger platform. But I read public administration and management. I shouldn't want to stick to, private sector, even though I'm still currently right now. But I should not want to stick to it. I should serve any way possible I can serve my people to get the benefit they're supposed to get. That's how it works.
Okay, well, folks, the race for 2023, it's in time. The first branch of government conversations right here. It's on the Liberia Public Radio. We are taking you in Greater Liberia. Representative Tex Hofo, exparent, the Honorable Samuel Babajua is my guest, joining me from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. We say welcome to the show. What is what is the relationship? Is there any prior relationship with you and the incumbent Representative Cole?
Yeah, there is relationship. During the time he was dismissed, this is the thing. We sometimes make mistakes on the basis of sympathy. I keep warning my people not to ever feel like because I've gotten one or two, getting to know one or two letters, I know that I'm able to talk and they should let me. I want them to know and so to be able to vet me and get to know what I'm able to do this job before they vote me. Here is it. The prior relationship we had when he was dismissed, he took the radio, he cried on the radio. At the time, working with government, I have three guys. I had to take it from here during the election time and go campaign for him without his knowledge. Without his knowledge, I didn't want anything for him. But I felt that because he was making Banga clean when he was a city mayor and all of that, gave the mayor a flower when he's still alive. I really used to be impressed when I go Banga and see the place clean.
Unfortunately, when we gave him the power, he has become a dictator. He has become so, rude, arrogant. He speaks anyhow. You talk to people anyhow. He beats on people. You can remember the story of General Bati. He instructed the beating of General Bati and went and took the case to court and influenced whatsoever way he influenced the judiciary system. They ruin your interest and all of that. And recently he just beat on another man for his own land. So those things happening can make somebody to say, oh yes, I don't want to be related to, I don't want to have relationship with a young man. But I was part of I supported the CDC in the past election. So I supported him by extension. I know, but what has happened is out of the way. I rather think that the people didn't deserve what he's doing. They don't deserve what he's doing. He's maltreating them, making people to stay in the sun for plastic of rice instead of creating the opportunity. The reason I told you that I want the people to spend money on a better living condition for themselves is because I do not want us to continue depending on things that are not sustainable. If you have a water system that is sustainable, that is bringing water, if you have a waste management system that is sustainable, that is cleaning your place, if you have an agriculture system, agriculture production that is sustainable, that keeping you, bringing money every time, getting money for yourself, it will create an opportunity for you to live a better life instead of just looking up to donors, looking up to people. Yeah, sitting down whole day. People can go sit into that guy's house, and and they have to get cup of rice to go eat. We don't have to treat our own people like that. I don't believe we should do that. If you want to do that, it should be a gesture after you create opportunities for people. But no opportunity, nothing. People find it difficult to get job. You don't have any international connection. I can remember when I worked with the water barriers global. And we brought people from Argentina, we brought people from New Zealand, we brought them the water filters that you saw. I think people saw around Liberia, going around where people can filter any dirty water except chemical water, or the energetic water you can filter and be purified to drink it. We did that. We started bringing these people. You
So
have
what
to have
happens? What
international
happens?
connections
Have they
and
left the
all of
country?
that.
Have they left the country? Why? So why are you still
They
doing?
left the country.
Yeah. Why?
Go ahead.
Why efforts are not being made to get these people? All of these great ideas you are promulgating here, are these ideas being your guy? Have you shared these ideas with him?
Let me tell you this. The first thing is that a lot of these people, people who are carry their ideas to him to sell it to him, he didn't buy it. His very promises he made, he had never had a track record of touching even one. For example, he promised Ori City. He has not provided the Ori City. He provided motorcycle hospital. He promised motorcycle hospital. He has never provided that. He promised the people that Bonkante, Banga City are going to be clean, the cleanest city. He has never provided that. He promised so many different things that he has never provided. But the
question is,
so you don't want to carry your idea. I told you, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, the Bible says, write your vision and make it plain so that the people may run with it. You don't want to carry your vision to a person who has killed his own vision to kill it. So I didn't bother to go to him. He is not even able to even buttress his own effort to making a vision to come to life. However, mine, if I carry it to him, he will kill it. So I didn't want to kick it for my own to die. So I want to make sure that if my people when my people give me the opportunity to serve them, I can be able to unearth all these opportunities that we have to our disposal. We got the land, we got the resources, everything, we got it. I don't think people should be crying on donors. Some people can say the war, the civil war. What civil war? Civil war ended a long time ago. Look at how they call Uganda. Look at how they're doing well. Look at the Kingali city. And look at the places. These people went through the Husi and Tutsi war as well. So let's be frank with ourselves. Let our lawmakers stop saying the other thing, that. Let's go to the point where we can be able to fix this country, putting our feet down. No country can become developed when the owners of the country cannot work out to say they want to make it develop. Nobody going to come from somewhere and make the country better for us except we stand up to our feet. I believe that we can do it ourselves. I got other international connections, it's true, but I do not want to wholly and solely depend on them. There should be a startup. They should give us money to start. For example, the guys that want to come from the US to come and do the assessment and settle the water plan for I call the Joe River water I was talking about and the water tower. The guys that want to come, they told me either you pay us to do it or you give us 1 year to run it. I know. So that discussion should be with the District Development Council.
So what happens to that? Had that been brought to the community, to the district for such a conversation? Has anybody pushed
You can
this?
bring that. Right now, to be frank with you, I let to be frank. I don't like to hide anything. If you dare try to take this in Bon County, people listening to me, they know Bon County, they know how the thing is like. If you dare try to do that in District 3 right now, that lawmaker will step on everything. One of the guys, they call him Victor Mesh. He had the opportunity, he brought the guys for the first time to do the assessment. It wasn't successful because he was even step on. He didn't have the opportunity to fix it. I'm not saying this out of head, right? I'm saying it because I have evidence to everything. You understand? Based on that, this team went back. So the team is willing to have some security. The only security we got is for Samuel Babajua, who is considered to be very tough talking and willing to go at any length for District 3. When he's seated as lawmaker, let me see who will stop the people from fixing the water plan for the people at the electoral District 3.
Babajua, this sort of narrative not strange to me and many other Liberians. When you are outside of the system, you seem to see all of the wrongs, and you seem to be the one that when you get there, the narrative will change. But again, that has not been proven right. People will say that they go there, the lack of political tolerance, they are unable to reach to other people to make their case and to get these issues addressed. So what is the guarantee now that you will kind of cut through this corridor here and all of these things that you are saying, good ideas that you are sharing with us here, the recipients going to be the people of District Number 3, Bon County?
So let me say this. I got a very good track record. As young as I am, I started working in government at a very young age. Look at the age I got married, 23. I have 3 kids. I've taken care of them very well. Sometimes follow the person's track record, what they stand for, what are their values, before we do history generalization. Those people, I'm not talking about you as a person. But let me say this. The guarantee number 1 is that I serve in government, I have public service experience, and I did not rob anybody. I did not do anything ugly. In fact, I advocated when I was working with the National Public Health Institute. The National Public Health Institute, what took me from government, let me tell you here today. The National Public Health Institute of Liberia, NPHIL, lay up 65 employees without paying their fees, to their salaries and their benefits. Under the Decent Work Act, if you carry a redundancy, there should be this package for everybody. The servant pay and everything should be prepared. If you owe this person arrears, everything should be prepared and the package should be delivered to them according to Decent Work Act of 2015. But then they lay off the 65 employees without giving them the money. And I happen to be one of those who were too tough talking about this issue, and they laid me off too on the basis of that. So I was redundant too. And because I was redundant, I was able to organize this team. In 5 months, I consistently engaged the U.S. Embassy, consistently engaged the Office of the President, His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah, consistently engaged the Senate Pro Tempore, and then engaged the Speaker, and later on they refer me to the House Committee Chair on Health, Honorable Joseph Nyan Sowambi. And the NPHIL management, I appear before the people, appear before the committee. And I warned them, and every single employees of NPHIL that were laid off were able to get their money. So I got track record of standing for what I see best. I had opportunity. They told me you can go to the Clark Atlanta University and we will be able to pay your fees in the US. Who is a Liberian that you were telling they can't go to the US right now, especially in Liberia, that will not want to go? But they told me can't go to the Clark Atlanta University in the US. We'll give you scholarship, MPhil scholarship, and you can go there to survive. I said no. They told me can't go to South Korea. We were giving one of MPhil scholarship. I said no. Come work in the account department. I said no. I said no to all of these things because it was not the appropriate time to ask me to get the opportunity, because it was only meant for me to keep silent on the advocacy. If had I gotten that, it was going to be used as a bit against me. So today, if you go to the MPhil, the people who are even funding my campaign, I'm not working anymore. But the people who are funding my campaign, who can pay my way every time to go, who are giving me small things to buy around and engage the community, those people are people who were laid off from MPhil. Today, that's the record I got. You enter MPhil, you say something, Baba Joa, they will tell you, say, we know that young man. So, anybody tell you MPhil that they don't know me, then they just enter there.
So, okay, Mr. Baba Juat, viewer descriptions advice via some really graphic image. We're going to just give a little clip. We don't want to violate community rules from Facebook here. So via graphic, and he will tell like exactly this picture, what happens, and if he knows the status of this here. These are pictures that we managed to receive. Who is this gentleman here? We're seeing these pictures.
Yeah, his name is Joseph K. Benda. That is a full name. I have a telephone number. If you want me to send it to you, I can send it to you. I know you'll be sleeping by now, so you won't be able to get him. But I can give you a telephone number and even the place he lives in Banga. The Cottontree community, the road leading to Representative Cole's house, having to be passing through the main lane, in center of the main lane. That is his property. And the lane is a 4-corner lane. And it's one lot. And and the road is passing in center of the lane. And the road is so big, today I say it took almost his entire property. So he decided that, okay, let me clear one side of it, clear one side of my lane, and make sure that the road can have more space there. But then I will not take all part of the road. I will just take at least 2 to 3, inch, so that I can add it on my, my house, and the space of my house. So he went and did that. When he did that, Representative Cole said the man is blocking his way, and under the Constitution, according to him, he's not supposed to be blocked at any point in time. But he forgot to know that the alley is different from this particular place. But then this man left a space where car motor were even passing and hauling sand. I can carry you there right now if you are in Liberia. Even if you wanted for me to carry you there tomorrow or day after tomorrow, anytime, I can take you there. The space was still created that car motor were passing with sand, because the people can pass with it to go get sand, they bring it back in the Cottontree community there. But interestingly, he said, why is it that the man got to dig along the road? Why the man got to do that? At the end of the day, he ordered the flocking of the man. And the man was flogged and brutalized along with his workers. Based on this, we reported it to the police. We asked him, we have been supporting this man to go and take the case to the police. When they went to the police who were afraid, they had to send the case to the court. The court said, no, you got to do preliminary investigation because it is criminal. So they had to send it back to the police. The police started to do preliminary investigation. When they asked Mr. Cole, he said it wasn't him. People, some of the workers did it, some of the followers did it, but it wasn't him. He did not order the flocking. But then, fast forward one article few weeks ago, he had a community rally, and he said when Jesus went to the temple, he saw children selling in the temple, and Jesus was angry because people were selling in a father's house, and he flogged the devil from all of the people. So when he made that statement, he said, and then I lied unto my heart one morning. I was saying the video. I lying onto my horse one morning, and a man woke up and started digging along the road where I supposed to pass with my vehicle. And I went there, stopping, and he didn't stop. And I went there, and I ordered a flocking. He said, "Some devils are not required for you to tell them, say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus with your mouth. You got to be able to flock it." And that's how he flocked the man. And exactly what he said. And then we went back to the police. Currently, what I'm trying to do is to support this man so that the man can get justice at the court. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm asking all well-meaning Liberians to be able to make sure that we can breed lawlessness in Liberia if we want to have a better Liberia. Let's fight this case on behalf of Mr. Joseph Bena so that he can get justice for what had happened to him. Forget politics. If somebody had done that to my father, I would have felt hurt, and I would need people's help.
Okay.
So it's not something like I'm making up. I will give you the man number. You yourself will call him, and I will send you the video where Mr. Cole himself confessed that he flocked the man, and he flocked it down from all of the men.
So let me ask you. You did say here, and get me right if I'm just getting you wrong here. I did hear you saying you supported President Weah in the last election, correct?
Yes, I did. I did, and everybody knows that.
Okay, so how come this time around the story has changed or has changed? Wow, why not this time around?
So for now, let me say this to you, CEO. Let me say this. For now, I'm not running to be president. I'm not running to be senator. So I can't say whether I supporting Mr. Weah or I'm not supporting Mr. Weah. I'm aligning and I'll realign. For now, as long as the political leader of NANU is the one looking my way, for now I'm looking away. That's how it's like. Let me tell you, if people stand up for your people, if people can stand up for your people, then you're happy to stand up for them. That the Clarence K. Monima is trying to tell me, yes, Sam Babajwa, let's go so you can stand up for your people. If Mr. Weah comes today and say, Mr. Babajwa, come, let's go, let's stand up for your people, I will gladly, say yes, thank you. You understand? People who are willing to stand up, either go, let Mr. Weah reciprocate. If he had the opportunity to reciprocate, he got the opportunity, let me say, let him reciprocate. Until then, Mr. Clarence, Dr. Clarence Monima, Dr. Clarence K. Monima is the one trying to reciprocate, trying to stand up for my people. So for now, he and I having a conversation. He has not cleared his state to say, oh yes, I will support you 100%, but we're having conversation. So for now, Mr. Weah should understand, even if I've been trying to see how I can meet with the former vice president, Joseph Human Braga. If I had the opportunity to meet with him and he tells me, Sam Babajwa, I'm going to stand up for your people, the same way we're having a conversation, Mr. Dr. Clary Modiba and myself, if we can have that same conversation, the former vice president and myself, I will also stand with him. So it's clear, the person who will come and stand for my people and stand with me, that is the person I will stand with. That's a clear call. I'm not running to be president. I will not buy off any of them. I'm not running to be senator. I will not buy off anybody running to become senator. But anybody running to become representative in District 3, you have to tighten your belt because it is going to be really, really tough because I'm not going to let anybody slide a normal slide.
Number slide. According to the official calendar of NEC, the institution responsible for the conduct of these elections, 189 days to go. How is the registration process first and foremost in Bon County? And if we were to conduct an election here, and this is going to be just limited to LPR here, and if Babajwa is elected as the next representative for District number 3, what do you think is the priority of your district that you're going to put for as the lawmaker if elected as representative for District number 3 of Bon County? What could be the very first 3, maybe pinpoint or priorities of your district that you think needs to be addressed at the first branch of government?
Okay, so the first question has to do with the voter registration. Voter registration is starting by the grace of God, April 21 in Bon County. Yeah, so it hasn't started. They're doing all the necessary preparations there. So that's what's happening. But then my top priorities, I said HUE. I'm running on the platform I call HUE, Health, Education, Agriculture, and Labor. I believe that when people are healthy, they should get job. When people are healthy, they should get education that will make them to get job. When the district or the country believe in agriculture, live off the agriculture, which is the bedrock of any country's growth, that district will succeed. I believe that health, education, agriculture, and labor, that is the labor aspect, is employment, job opportunity. For example, I told you about agriculture. I told you that Liberia is importing $7 million pepper. If District 3, that got less than 37,000 voters, you understand? If District 3 can focus on agriculture and just say, let's say, for example, let's just plant pepper. Just pepper. You will have more people on job. Job will be created and people will enjoy. People will get money in their pockets. Let's say today, CEO in the US, let's say today, if we decided that we'll be exporting pepper. Somebody was telling me almost 10 pot of pepper is almost 8 pot of pepper is almost $10 US. Imagine. So if you are importing continuous 40 feet continuous 4-5 of it in the US, you're making a lot of money. I just see a lot of big job opportunity that is across the district. I see it. And leadership is about envisioning what you know that can happen, what you know that is achievable. You understand? So I'm setting on this smart goal, and I just hope that somebody down there, I do not have money to run my campaign, but somebody down there will look at the ideas, will look at the business opportunity that's in the district and support this campaign. Let's see how we raise money. Let's see how we make money. Let's see how we improve the life of our people. That's one. And I said to the people, the district are both urban and rural area. So while the agriculture is interested in the area of the rural area where the people can make more money, agriculture is there. People graduating from Cottington can go there to go work. Kari is right there. Making more money from pepper. But I look at the idea I just brought about. The water tower is right within the city. Let's make sure the water tower is functional. Let's get people employed. We can get a managing director. We can get deputy managing director for technical services. We can get deputy managing director for administration. We can get technical supervisor. We can get fee agent. We can get all the people working. That money coming.
Baba Joa, with all of these good ideas, I don't see nowhere it doesn't matter whether in Liberia, anywhere on planet Earth, without money to say you're going to conduct and execute an effective campaign. So who are you looking up to? Is that the ordinary bungies within district number 3 that you are heavily relying on and are you not going to spend anything? Is that what you're telling us?
You mean my campaign?
Yeah. You say you don't have money to somebody to support your campaign. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, so here is it. I'm relying on them. Recently in my hometown, got over 1,000 votes now. Last year it was 504 votes from their registered voters. It has increased dramatically. So my hometown alone has been able to organize themselves. We got people, we got young men there, got motorcycle and all the kind of thing. They organize themselves. They raise funds, they raise some money. They're gassing the motorbike, and people are going from community to community and selling my ideas. So they're already doing it. This, like I told you, the fourth Saturday, the clan will be officially turning me over to the district, the entire district. My clan alone got 4,466 votes. And the lawmaker won with 5,900 and some more votes. Let's say that my clan will vote me all through. All of them will vote me. Or let's say they'll give me 3,000 votes. I can get the rest of the vote across the district, especially among the intellectual class that is in Bon County District 3 in Banga City itself. Let's say the other client where I just donated agriculture materials. My friend sent me some agriculture material from the US that has to do with wheelbarrow, that has to do with hook, that has to do with rake, that has to do with shovel, all the kind of thing. I donated in the other clan, they call it Japo clan. Right now, I got seeding, pepper seeding, because I'm interested in pepper. I feel that there's more money in it. So I told them, start the pepper, start the beta ball. The beta ball pie is for you to enjoy it some way, but the pepper is for you so that at the time that we will start the pepper program in the district, we can now get enough seed available that we can be able to what? To do the farm across the district. That's another part. But realistically, campaign is expensive when it comes to engaging the people. But nobody should lie to you and say anybody has to pay people to vote for them. That has never worked in District 3. Even the current lawmaker did not light a single candle for a church before he became elected. People voted him because they liked him, because they felt that he was marginalized, he was doing development, and they needed more of that development than why they voted him. The people of District 3 are interested in development. So nobody must say, oh, we need money. I know recently he came up with a strategy. He said he got $25 million, and that $25 million, he's going to use it. People are excited when he's telling me the story. He said he have given article $15 million to your wife to get loan to all the business women, and the business women when he wins, he will not take the money back from anybody. If he doesn't win, he will have to get his money back, and then he will get $10 million like $10, and he'll be sitting down to your horse after you register. You will pass, so he will get 1,000 like $10, and all these stories are all around the district already, so the people understand it. So it's not about money that the people are actually, my campaign, like people like you're just giving me opportunity. You're promoting me. You created this platform for me. I needed to pay for this, but you're giving it to me free of charge. People like you who are following us, I doing well.
I will send a bill to you. Or when you become representative. You see that? Okay, yes. So let's talk here. And there's a question from one of our analysts here, and we also like to pick from our viewers and listeners. So if anybody have questions, they can send it here. This is Cesar Goya. He's our senior analyst here of the Liberia Public Radio. He's based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He said he has he accounted for his vehement support of the CDC and then to bruise it against the people who opposed the CDC?
Okay, have I accounted? Let me say this,
maybe let's see whether we can kind of like get it down here. Knowing what you know now, can you do the same thing? Can you give us support to CDC? I don't want you to be using the align with these people. And you politicians, and this is how you guys do.
No, I will answer the question. Just go straight with it.
Yeah, you politicians full of political correctness here. But if you can still, you want to highlight on Sissy question. Can you, on the other hand, was your decision, knowing what we know now, was it wrong?
Okay, so knowing what I know now, my decision is fighting in my face, to be frank. Is wasting dike in my face. Yeah.
Break it down to the smaller guy and listening, and I see a guy tweeting that say he's falling religiously from this.
So here is it. Based for, especially in District 3 and aligning it with the CDC and the leadership there. If you look there right now, the CDC is even divided in District 3. The lawmaker got his own segment, and then the CDC coordinator got his own segment. So that alone tells you that nothing good is happening there right now. So the CDC, to some extent, has failed in the district. I let it restrict my eyes to the district. The CDC failed in the district, District 3. So knowing what I know, there is dike in my face. I feel bad for my support to the CDC that has led to the fact that my people are suffering in District 3. So that's a reality.
Before I go to my man, he has joined me here. Meaning your choice was wrong for the support. That's not what you expected, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let me bring in Sisi Goyo. Sisi Goyo is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, and he's Prof himself. He's been listening here. Sisi, like you, someone who was burning within. Good evening and welcome.
Hey, how are you doing? Hey, Samuel. I know Babajua. Go get it. I know Babajua very well. Full disclosure, we both belong to the same church in Liberia, Matari Baptist Church.
Of course.
So I know him very, very well. And so sometimes the kid got to eat baby. So
yeah, go ahead, big brother. I available.
Babajua is walking a tightrope right now. Okay. I know you want to focus on your district, but that was not a question I asked. The question I asked you was clear. For full record, Babajua was one of those intellectual young men that was very abrasive, very, very unapologetically CDC, and they went after people personally. He insulted people on Facebook personally. And I'm thinking about the likes of the former MPO director, for example. He went after Itobo Yenswa personally because of the CDC. So my question to you was not about just your district. My question was, have you accounted for that abrasive behavior, that behavior that border on civilized incivility in discourse? Have you accounted for that? And what do you promise the Liberian people that will be any different if you were to win or lose the election, that you won't go back to the days of the burning bush that you did with the CDC?
Okay, let me answer it. When you talk about my disenchantment with Toba Yenswa, he and I didn't have any issue with CDC. That I was just talking about the Enfield saga. It was about people who, he lay off people. He was the head of the Enfield at the time. They lay off people without paying their just benefits and salary. So I have to go after him. And I went after him with everything in me. I think I said it here. I didn't have that. So I went after him with everything in me. When it comes to the CDC, where I fronted for the CDC, I didn't deny that. I said I fronted for the CDC. I was in argument with people, and I did everything possible to make the CDC to where it is. But here is the thing. I just said that I'm not happy with the way the CDC conducted herself. I'm not happy with the way the CDC leading the country. I'm not happy with the way things are going. I'm clear with that. So, the Bible says wise men changes. It's good that you and I are from the same church. And you know that I've currently served on the school board as chairman for academics. The truth is, wise men changes, the fool will never. That's what the Bible says. You understand? So the truth is, I have realized, I think you and I had a conversation when you came back to Liberia, a short conversation. It was not that long, but I can remember telling you that I have actually changed my mind when it comes to the way things are going. I have said it over and over and again.
Let me come in.
I want to stick to my focus. The focus is
but it's
become a lawmaker.
Mr. Babajua,
I'm not becoming a president. So I cannot speak to the issue of whether Mr. Weir will win or lose or whatever. It's not my business.
Mr. Babajua.
My business now is how can I narrow my opportunity, my ability to helping my people.
Mr. Babajua, in order for us to give you a new mat, we got to look at the old mat you're sitting on the plat. I know you're trying to run away from your history, and I'm not. I don't think I'm going to allow you to do that. Yes, a wise man changes.
I'm not trying to run away.
Hold on.
I'm not trying to run away. CDC.
Hold on one second.
And you will be given.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. To respond. You just quoted to me that you and I go to the same church. That a wise man changes. But don't forget the very Matari Baptist Church board school that you said on said, studied to prove yourself, to show yourself approved. And so what have you done? What have you studied to show yourself now approved? My question is this a situation of a buyer remorse where you either didn't get things that you thought you could get through the CDC for the reason for which you were insulting people on the internet every place for the CDC, or B, Is that because that the CDC will not endorse you, that they have a candidate in the district you want to run? And if none of those, what intellectual exercise as a university student at the time did you go through to assume that there were going to be things that the CDC was going to do that they didn't do now, that gives you this recourse to say, well, you were disappointed the CDC didn't do what you expected them to do?
Okay, so let's take it like this. Step one, I will never insult anybody on social media. I will go harsh. I will say that people are not understanding me. I will say that they're not understanding the fact that CDC will serve good. I say all of that, but to insult somebody, I don't have that in my DNA. And when I do that, I will going to be disciplined by the church. I don't go public to insult people, and you know that for a fact. So that's one. Let's clear that one. Then by now, I'm on discipline. I wouldn't be serving the position I was serving the church. Our church is clear on that.
If I find one post
I didn't insult anybody on the social media.
If I find one post of that, would you resign?
Yeah.
If I find one post of that, would you withdraw from the race? If I find one post showing that you insulted people for CDC, would you withdraw from the race?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I would do that. I would gladly do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's go back to article, to what I was saying. At the end of the day, the CDC, there will be a manic that will haunt some of us. The fact that we made a decision that threw a deck back at our face. The one of the best thing we can do is to tell the people, yes, we made the wrong decision, but this is how we can fix it. The reason I'm contesting is not because I wanted something from CDC and I didn't get. No, I was working. I was game for the surviving. I was game for the working before even the CDC can come into power. I was working in government, and you know that. I was working in government before the CDC could come to power. And I was working in government when the CDC was in power. I took the decision that I took to support the CDC because I felt that we needed people with energy, people with innovation, and all of that. And I felt that people like Samuel Tuer, some people, who used to sit on the radio and say all the good things, I felt they would have brought that to life. But for me, the bad thing was that I didn't understand what are some of the yardsticks they needed. They were not telling me exactly how they were going to do it. So right now, if you listen to my campaign message, I'm telling people how I'm going to do my own. I have written it quarter by quarter, year by year, what I'm going to achieve. So the difference is what I would do, how I would do it. My how is there. They never had they never had the how. They only told us what they were going to do. So the point here, at the end of the day, I regret every single step I took, but the discussion, I don't think is about the CDC, but I said it clearly that I am not, happy with the CDC and the ruling of it. I'm clear with that. And I'm saying it on the public radio.
Okay, let's go online here. We are winding down. We know it's getting very late. This is not going to be the last conversation. Thank you for your patience and tolerance. We do pick questions. This is coming from our own Mike Dant of the Liberia Public Radio, also monitoring in Liberia. So my question is, what was your aim of supporting CDC? As personal attachment, and that didn't come to pass? Was there some sort of political promise? And I know I'm not going to be shouting supportive of anything that I know something good is not there for you. And it is just by bad extension of Mr. Goyat question, and you yourself alluded, which of course that's the honest part, one of the honest politicians that I'm saying. But was it a personal thing? From what I'm hearing now with the CC and other folks what is coming on, you were very forceful, and then at the end of the day,
I'm very forceful
for them.
Now I'm a very forceful person. I believe
at the time for CDC, but not for CDC now, correct?
Yeah, but the point is, even in my own sojourn, if Big Brother CC Goyas knows my ability when I want something done, I go for it with my everything. The reason is very simple. If you don't stand for something, you fall for nothing. Here is it. I fell, and I keep saying this. I hope even President Weah is watching or listening. I felt that the Liberia that we all need, a better Liberia that was being promised most time by the CDC were going to come about under the CDC leadership. I feel that there will be job opportunities across the country. I was working the breading that I had, my family. Bibara Sisi Goya, who was on the line, he knows very well that I come from a family that I'm the only breadwinner. I'm the only person working. You understand? I'm the only person that have had higher education. You understand? So I had so much breading on me, and I wouldn't want an environment where a lot of people will get job, even including some family members that will have job. When people get job, when people, the burden were going to lessen. But he himself there, he knows very well that the amount of people that call him per day from Liberia that need help, there's so many. The country has even gone, I can say, almost 100 years back. When it comes to employment, when it comes to opportunities, it's lacking. It's the truth. And I'm not hurting my voice to it. So let's be honest here. Yeah. I'm not trying to sugarcoat. I've challenged him where I ever insulted anybody for the CDC where he can bring any post, absolutely. I will withdraw from the race, and I'm saying it right here. Any post, especially for the CDC, if I ever insulted anybody, because he knows very well in my church, I was serving as president for evangelism. Okay. I wouldn't use insulted words. If you do that, you're going strictly on discipline, especially on social media, Facebook. Somebody will see it.
About you, we not do that.
Go strictly on discipline.
We not do that thing on Facebook, man. I belong to Matane Baptist Church. I know a lot of people that have posted bad things, and we don't discipline you for what happens on social media. We not do that thing in the public.
So when you insult on Facebook, they get discipline you.
No, it doesn't. I've been in the church longer than you. You know that. I've been in that church. So the other piece to that is that I specifically remember before when the CDC came to power, you started to get disenchanted when there were positions not being allotted to you, because there's a lot of posts about that, and I'm trying to find those posts. It seems you're scrubbing your page, but I will get them. Like I said, you've already made a commitment on this post, on this live, that if I produce any post where you were disrespectful,
any post, you will
resign. So we'll get them. But the other thing is, you want to tell people that they should not focus on your dealings with the CDC, but they should focus on your district. And the question that I'm struggling with is, how do you want people now to trust you that you are now making sound decisions, that you will make good decisions for them that you will not regret, when in fact the decisions you just most recently made with the CDC, you're not regretting that, and you haven't told us, how you came to the calculation, except for the fact that you felt it was a feeling that Samuel Tuer could do something. It was a feeling, and you were a university student at the time. So are you promising your people in the district the thing you're promising are based also on feelings? How is that calculation different now?
Okay, the calculation is different because I was a university student then, and now I'm a graduate.
That doesn't answer any question. What did you learn in the process from student to graduate?
No, it answers it, because at the time I was a student, I was still in the learning curve, and I was going after a lot of things. I was getting experience, and so many things was being added. So but now I've reached to the point where I've graduated, and I'm at the point where I understand. Let me tell you, people at Sisi Goya, you got to know me even when I got married very young. I got married at age 23. And it was a Matane Baptist Church that ushered me, rightly nurtured me, bring me to where I am, the speed I am. The point I'm trying to make at the end of the day is that Samuel Babajwa made a mistake by supporting the CDC because he feels that the CDC is not proceeding rightly. Does that mean that the CDC has not done any good thing? Absolutely no. CDC has done other good things. But does that mean that Samuel Babajwa is regretting because the CDC is just doing a minute good thing? No. Samuel Babaja is regretting because the entire populace supposed to benefit anything that the CDC is doing. The entire populace, the life of the people should improve. So Samuel Babaja is not saying, come and join the CDC or come and join. So Samuel Babaja is saying, myself going to solve the problem that I have seen. And I have track record of solving problem. I just told you I wrote a grant of 600,000 for the community-based initiative. The enhanced police surveillance through community engagement. I did that. What is it that I didn't solve problem? I solved problem. The grant went on successfully, and we're able to identify some of the polio children that are suffering in the community. So it said that I've never made all the decisions that I could. So are you only judging me on the basis of a single decision that I made that are affecting other people? How about those ones that I've made that are affecting people positively? So let's see it from the both ends. I have made more good decisions that affected people positively, even my family, my church, my community, my district. I won grant with the United Nations Development Program, which you know about, and I affected people like I won article or contract for my company. I affected people like I have over 200 scholarships in my district.
Oh. Yeah, Mr. Two and the guests gone. They leave me here with Josh. What kind of trouble I got this way? I didn't stand out to stay on to be online.
Is it only because I made one decision? Having not made mistake before in your lifetime, Mr. Goya?
Okay, I know our time here, but it's good we're having this sort of conversation. This is why we don't just convict people here, even though there will be some cross border line here that will be tough questions going to come because the country is a small country, but we like to give people the opportunity. No matter who they are in society, what we knew about then and now, it's good to have this conversation here. But before we let you go, Amos Joy, you are from Bone County. Is that your district we're talking about or no?
What district? What district?
District number 3.
No, that's no district.
Say that again. I'm not hearing you.
But can you hear me?
Yeah, much better. No, I was just asking. I was just curious. I say, is that your district we are talking about or no?
No, I don't think so. No.
You don't know your.
But
you don't think so.
The young man that I think, and that's a young man connected to him, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I'm asking. I'm just asking. Okay.
Is he still on?
Yeah, he's on hearing you.
I'm here, Amos. I'm here.
Yeah, the man on.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing very well.
What district you represent?
District 3.
Yeah,
District 3. Chocolate 1.
Okay, that's way up. That's up. You know,
yeah,
I saw a post. He posted something last night about Mervyn Cole. Yeah, Mervyn Cole beating that guy. So I got in touch with him. So when I got in touch, he said he responded. Then I passed the information on to Mr. So to get in touch with him. But I just have one question for you. I didn't even know your political orientation.
Yes,
I just
sir.
saw the post and something you wrote, some proposal about pepper, you know, how much money they spent on pepper from buying from Guinea for 6 months. I think he threw up, I think under 7 million or something like that. And that got me interested. So I said, oh, this general level and see. But I got a question for you.
Go ahead, sir.
Are you talking about the CDC? Man.
Say that?
He asked
Can you hear me?
Are you still a member of CDC?
I was never a member of CDC. I supported the CDC. I affiliated with the CDC when I got introduced to politics, especially a young man coming here, seeing the zeal in CDC. That's why I don't want people judging me on the basis of that. A lot of young people have not made a lot of mistakes. I want to church back. Maybe some of your track record. You made a mistake. You done some things that you feel that you're stuck, and you come back to it and you say, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake and I have to correct it." So to correct it, you can be. Let me tell you, we keep judging on the basis of our past And, you know, sometimes we miss the future.
Okay, yeah.
No. Get this straight. I'm not judging you. I just asked you because my question I want to ask, that's the premise I want to lay. I'm not judging you. If you're a member of the CDC, I have no problem.
No, not you.
That will not stop me from asking my question. Yeah, but the question I want to ask
Go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah, suppose you win this election and you get the capital building. Will you join CDC?
Oh boy.
Okay, that's a very nice question. I will not join the CDC. I'm not intending to join the CDC until if there's opportunity that they can change that style of leadership, then maybe I can say yes. I will, you know, join the CDC one day, maybe in the future, and wait, you know, where from maybe not even there, not on the basis of winning election, but then it change that style of leadership. We put it on the basis of grassroots, so they should treat the people. You know, I just wanted to create opportunity for everybody, not some people. People should not be going to people's homes and begging to survive. People, it shouldn't be that way.
Let me go back to something.
So until then, Samuel Babajua is Samuel Babajua.
We're going to be giving you a closing remark, and then guys, will continue with our regular segment. I think we've been here for like a 1 hour, 30 minutes. I know it's late now. We're waiting, so I think we have a lot to have. Conversations, especially when folks are being certified by NEC. But for now, those that are expiring, we need to know their visions, who they are, what they represent. We may not know all of it now, but we are giving them the opportunity. It doesn't matter who they are, what we think and feel about them. We're not going to be selective on this network because Mr. A, who is a viewer, doesn't like an individual because of his present or past political alignment. Then that is fair. That's not how democracy works. We need to listen and we give them the opportunity to tell us their past narrative as well. And so, I mean, we will get to know them here. Gentlemen, do you guys have any question? One question more if you have to ask before we let Mr. Babajua go? Is there any question for any of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm staying here. You know, I would do my.
No, I mean, we will go on with our
question. Let me phrase it this way.
Oh, the Babeo. If phone was hitching, you know.
Let me phrase this question. Babajua, let me phrase this question. Because
I'm here.
We are seeing this missive, the danger again. People will say they will not fit with CDC because of the way the government proceeding. But when they get to power, when they are elected, and CDC offer them some position, some committee position, have a committee position in the House, then they say, I'm going back to CDC. And you got 6 more years, the electorate cannot do anything again without 6 years. Looking at our society, because recording library, it never been done before, so our people will not want to go down that route. So that is, I'm asking you, what guarantee are you giving the voters? Say you are seeing all the ill about CDC. What is the guarantee giving them? That if you people put me there, and I get that there's if the offer me no, I will stay as an independent to do what you people has elected me to do. What is the guarantee? Everybody I can so what is the guarantee you want to give those people of Jogga district? That when you put me there,
okay, guarantee. There is a guarantee. Here is a guarantee. Samuel Babajua, like we were saying, I've always stand up for what I believe. I got nobody I'm seeking favor from. I don't seek favor. I don't fake. To the extent my entire church, a lot of people were against the CDC. But guess what? I was in the midst of them and I stood tall. That's why people say I insulted. I didn't insult. You understand? So I'm somebody who, when I tell you this is where I am, I'm noted for that. I commit myself to that. I don't do the dangling, the dangling modifier. I don't do that. I stand up for who I am and what I believe in. So my track record as a young man, because here is it, we're building our reputation, not just for today, but for tomorrow, for our kids, for our unborn generation. We're building our track record. So for me, if you follow my track record, if I tell you I'm standing with you, I stand with you no matter what. Even if they say you're the worst person, I stand with you. But if I stand with you and you succeed and you turn out to show that you're the worst person for true, then when I tell you I'm not with you, don't take it a big joke. You can do anything you want to do, I will not join you. So the only guarantee I can give, like he said, like the CEO said, no guarantee in policy, in politics. But the only guarantee I can give you is the person I have been, knowing me. I think people are Goya just said it clear. I was standing my ground, even though I lost a lot of opportunity, even at the level of my church, my friendship, all these kind of things got spoiled because of CDC. But after I realized that CDC was not working, was not doing those things they promised, things started going bad. And he said, why is it that few years, just 1 year into their existence, I started becoming disenchanted? The reason when I heard the news about 16 billion librarians that are getting missing, that thing shocked me. Whether it was propaganda, I couldn't take it. My brain was too small for it. That one make it, I got disenchanted. You understand? So there are reasons, there are guarantees there, but the basic guarantee is the person who I have been and the person who I am, and my record that says Samuel Babajua stand for this, he stand for this, and no matter what, I stand for it. The only guarantee I got that there. And my second guarantee that God is the one that gave me the opportunity to be alive. So I trust him in everything I say and do. My campaign has never been supported by any other person. The same people I stood for. They're the ones supporting my campaign.
Can I ask a leadership question?
Yeah,
so, and this is my last question. So, Babajua, let me just ask you based on the last comment. You said you're somebody, when you decide to stand with somebody, you stand with them no matter what. Even if people say you're a bad person, you stand with them. You will stand with them, and this is a direct quote, and a temper the direct quote. You will stand with them until they show to you that they're bad. How should people of District 3 trust you if you were saying that you're going to stand with somebody no matter what, even if people say they're bad? So should the people of District 3 trust you that you will stand with them even after they tell you something is bad and you say, no, that thing is not bad? You will stand against them for something else.
No, not against them, with them.
Well, no, but listen, this is a two-way street. So you will stand with people. You will stand with somebody no matter what other people say. Even if people say you're bad, you will stand with them until you yourself personally find out. So if the people of District 3 say somebody is bad and you decide to stand with that person, or something is bad and you decide to stand with that thing, you're going to stand with that thing until you yourself convince yourself that it's bad. How should people trust you with leadership with such a mantra?
Okay, so let me answer it in this way. Step one, you don't judge the book by the cover, but you judge it by the content. For example, you will have your own reason why you say this person is bad. I have not seen that reason yet. For example, somebody will say you're bad. Should I just agree that you're bad? No, that's not how people should do things. You should have an independent mind. That was what I was trying to say. I have an independent mind. And I believe that nobody should just come and say, oh, move from behind the man because they made that like that. Just because their personal aggrandizement or their personal interest, they didn't go through. So when I stay with the people at District 3, no matter what people say, I'm going to stand with them. That's the point I'm making. I'm going to be for them. The earlier interview question that came to me, I answered it by saying, anybody who is willing to serve the people at District 3, to get the people at District 3 a better life than who, I will be with that person because I'm standing with the people at District 3. So the point here is, if the person comes and tell me that District 3 people are bad people and I should leave them, until the District 3 people prove it to me that they're bad people, that's the only way I will, leave the people at District 3. That's the only way. But until then, I will stand by the people of District 3, and I'm standing with them. So that was from the perspective I spoke. I was speaking of independence, evaluation, not just moving by history generalization or maybe moving by feeling or whatsoever. I already had a situation with that. When the CDC decided that they were not going to serve the way we expected them to serve, the expectation we have for them, quickly, I made a post and said that I'm no longer going to support the CDC. Because I saw immediately 2018, I did that. Immediately 2018. I even wrote an apology post. I know you're angry with me. You're a big brother. We end up been having some good conversations, but I know you're angry with me because of the decision I made that affecting other people negatively. But again, I want you to understand that I'm just human. I made a decision I made because I felt it was going to yield good fruit. And you couldn't tell me why you think it couldn't yield good fruit. That's why right now, the voter education you people should carry out is about why you think this person is not good. You shouldn't be telling the people the person not good, the person not good. No, tell them why you think this person is not good. That's why when I go to District 3, I tell them this is why Mr. Cole has done that is not good, and this is what we will do to fix it. Okay. So you people only put out under the impression that person not good, that person not good, that person not good. But you couldn't tell us why you think this person was not good. And we were in the learning curve. That's why I told you the difference between me then and me now is because I've experienced a lot. One, two, I'm a graduate. I understand what is good for me and what is not good for me. So the Babajua you knew then is not the Babajua now. That's why I stand by what is right. And when I hold it, I hold it.
All right. Okay, my man, Sam Babajua, to wait to call you. I know you said before your closing statement here, awareness and everything is very vital. There are a lot of information out there, which for me, I don't find the basis. A lot of conspiracy theory, this election going to go this way, going to go that way. And I did hear you saying April, some middle of April, end of April, the process is going to kick off in Bond County. Bond County is very strategic when it comes to the presidency as well, all of that. How far is the process in terms of publicity awareness? Are people, as far as you are concerned, and maybe we can restrict it to your district because this is where your political interest is now being based. People energized for registration if the process kicks off? What are you observing? So what are you seeing there so far while we wait for the official process?
What I'm observing is that the people can't wait to make decision. The people can't wait to make decision. The only thing we need to help them to do is to make the right decision. We are national leader or people opting to be national leaders. And I would say this on this platform. If anybody really want Liberia to be a better place, and we want this place to be very genuine, and everybody can get equal opportunity to survive, this is a moment in time that we should be able to educate every single person how to make decisions. Don't say the people themselves will make the decision. Don't feel for them. Don't think for them. Sometimes the people, what you're seeing, the people not seeing it. The situation happened with me now, I'm being judged on the basis of that. So let's go out there. Anybody you connect to, anybody you know that knowing somebody knows somebody, another person knows another person. Let's keep engaging the people and telling them how they can make decisions that will affect them. But as for now, the energy has grown so high, the people can't wait to make decisions. And I'm happy that they really want to make the decision. And I'm in the limelight, I'm leading, so I'm happy.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's hear from you your final word.
Let me make I'm going to make a quick statement before you left. I thought you was about to leave.
No. Yeah, okay. Before you can make a statement, then he will get a closing statement.
Yeah. So in an ideal situation, Samuel Babajua is the story of not even mat, but ground to mattress. This is a kid I've known for a long time, and I apologize. I don't mean to bring your age down to make you look like a child, but I'm saying that because you're my baby brother. This is a student who from Bond County, first in his family to go to school, first in his family to go to university, first in his family to graduate. This is a child, a young man who, while struggling, begging people, washing other people's clothes to get money to feed himself, washing other people's clothes in the community, call everybody be brother, be sister, because of the hustle. He managed to have his siblings to live with him while hustling, washing people's clothes to live. In an ideal world, this is Baba Jua, who will go to Matari Baptist Church School to help tutor students. Even when he's walking, he will walk. He's committed to the church. He will walk. When he's hungry, he will go and he will work around the church. This, in an ideal situation, is the story of success that we all want to highlight. The story of a young man who comes from a poor stock, a poor background, comes to Monrovia to seek his share of the national pie that's been denied to so many Liberians, and manages to sleep on people's floor and do a lot of things to get to where he is today. I want to say I'm always proud of you. I think you are a success story. I think people like you are people that we need. When you were at NPL, I saw you leading demonstrations and protests for redundant workers when even you yourself were not actively affected. That is a true mark of a leader. But again, like I said, and I'll continue to say, I'll continue to say that, is there are some actions you took, some decisions you took that will always come back. And you rightfully said that everybody made mistakes in life. My hope is that you think clearly about that, account for it, and make amends and move forward. But I would think, you, Baba Jua, are a true success story from a poor indigenous who comes to Monrovia and does the best. So good luck to you, little brother. But I just had to, put you out here because for me, I like to be transparent with people. You're my own baby.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I had to eat your own baby first.
I think, you see, Baba Jua, before you come in, and this is, you see how the world of society is so narrow, small, and I had no idea that this is the guy. But when I saw that tree, I like, give me a break. Something it looked like is something unusual is happening. But I think he came out honest with some of his decisions. He didn't walk away. Other people walk away from their shadow. Your shadow will be your shadow. I don't care what you do. There are other, if you don't see it, other people sees it and they will tell the story. What Sam Baba Jua, we want to thank you so much. This is what we do here at LPR. Sometimes, people who don't understand our work or things that we do, they want their conversation in their way. And that's not what we do here. We don't keep the conversation in your way to the extent that you want it to be like an amusing stuff, amusement. No, we don't amuse people here. And at the same time, we are not judgmental. So we don't convict people, but we can discuss some critical issues. And when we hear their side and others are accused, we reach out to them as well to let them know, to tell their side. If they don't want to come, we come back and tell our audience. So for people to say out like, oh, where the other men talking, where are the other men? No. Every Liberian has, they have an equal right under the Constitution to speak their mind, to tell us what they intend to do, their participation in national politics. It does not mean my job here is to set the stage, create a forum, create a conversation, and the electors and the voter ultimately decide. So unfortunately, when people come here, we tell you what you need to know, not what necessarily you want to hear. Baba Jua, we want to thank you so much for your time this evening. We're looking forward. Please, and I want to say thank you very much, because one of the things too is that which were hard, they said it didn't happen, but you kept pushing on. So this is to suggest that there's a story that needs to be told to people, not just on the Bongis or not just on the people of District number 3, but the people of Liberia, because if you are elected, you are going to be in the first branch of government. And so your decision also impact my district, impact my county, Grand County, just to mention, So I think we would love to have these conversations after the certifications. Then we know you are in the race. Then we know that you are a satisfied candidate. Then we will go in your closet as to what you have specifically for the people. But we are still having this sort of open conversation to see who. And I want to thank you so much, your willingness. We have reached out to so many people who are expiring. They promise and they don't come back. It didn't work 1 or 2 times, but you were consistent to still come that you want to tell us something. That is, that's what we want everybody to do. But I know it's late inside Liberia, so the rep we floor, when we floor, are they on Capitol? Is that I think second floor, right? Capitol building.
Who the rep?
Yeah.
The rep, they get the very first one opposite the other called the UL, the Universal Library. The bike side is the Senate. So they got whole building now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you know, you have earmarked the office ought to be in, right?
I can go all inside our place.
Sam Baba, you are okay.
The man want to ask him
give us a closing argument. I saw somebody, a couple of people yesterday watching from District Number 3. So I mean, people are listening, and people are going to go back to this video. So it's good to have people on record, give them the opportunity to let them commit their own political suicide, literally, if they will. But in 1 minute here, what is your closing argument? Liberians that are listening to you, what is the most takeaway thing you want them to get out of this conversation tonight?
Okay, thank you. I like for every individual listening to me to sit where they are, sit down and think in your lifetime. Ask yourself, who am I? Why I was born in the first place? Why I was born to the family that I was born in? Whether poor or rich family, why you were born in the family you were born in? Why were you born in the county, the district, the community? Why were you born there? When you answer these questions, you'll find out that you're created by God and for His use and for His glory. And if you realize that there's a particular thing God wants you to do, I normally listen to Les Brown, the motivational speaker, you will realize that the goals and aspirations that God has given you, you will work on and go out there and bring them to life before they stand by you one day on your dying bed to look at you with angry eyes. So I'm letting everyone to know that, you know, my big brother and myself, we have to go the way we went, because he has to be able to know whether his little brother is ready for this thing. And that's one. 2, I let to say, everybody out there who believe in a better Liberia, go out there, register. You got to make the decision. You got to be part of the decision. It's not about how much money they will give you. Think about the future. Think about the family. There's so many reasons why you should not vote certain group of people. And I will not run a campaign right now, but I want to say to you, go right now in the register so that you have opportunity to make a decision to vote. As for those people watching on District 3, I am Samuel Babajua. I'm running for the office of the representative for District 3. And I hope that you can be able to elect me. And I hope that you can support my campaign. And I hope that I can work with you. And I hope that you can always checkmate me, make me the better person I need to be, and make me the leader that you want. This is an opportunity for every one of us to make the decision to make Liberia the way we want it. We should not wait for outsiders to come. The dependency syndrome, pessimism, let's get rid of it. Let's make Liberia better for ourselves. Thank you so much for the opportunity, CEO. Thank you to people at Sisi Goya. Thank you to Amos, and thank you to the entire Liberia Public Radio team. And I'm very grateful. And I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, I am Afonso Zian, so top the Liberia Public Radio, and the analysts, they are here as usual. We want to thank all of our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you. And please, Mr. George, thank you so much. And I think that's what we should be doing. Even the viewers, listeners, we are from different political, geographic locations. If you know people that are contesting, don't say because I'm not supporting this person, so you don't want to do anything with that person. I think that's just been unfair, and that's just been selfish. We all are Liberians. They can have their side. They can choose whatever party they want to choose. But I think what would be the good thing that's going to favor Liberia is for us to know who they are, what their alternatives to the current one or to the whatever. What are they offering? And when we begin to have a sort of broader mind of people who can deliver and not restrict ourselves to say, oh, because I'm a Liberty partisan, I'm a Unity partisan, so you should support all of the candidates for Unity Party. I think then that's just fair, because you can't tell me if Unity Party producing 10 or 15%, they are all okay. Okay, maybe CDC now is running, seeking re-election. If you disagree with the president, or there's no one from CDC can be a good senator, can be a good representative, I don't believe that. The only way that I can have that is to judge these people when I have a conversation with them, because then I will get a talking point here. Guys, hold on. So I believe is some of our valuable follower. Cora, good evening.
How you doing, Mr. So?
That's your player?
Yeah.
You retire now or not yet? Or,
no, I retire. I think it's only a problem to get you. I'm not playing like that anymore. How you guys doing this evening?
Yeah, look, Aaron, man, thank you so much for your consistent following us here and always engaging. I think this is what we need to do.
That's good. That's
good. My assumption, you did listen to the gentleman who was expressing his desire to contest for district number 3 in Bond County, correct?
A little bit. Pretty much at the end, I just came from work. I just walked in the house.
Oh, okay.
And I turned the program on. Yes.
Okay, but I know you probably have your own agenda. You have your own thing to push here, so nothing spoiled. Yeah. So let's hear from you. What, are you declaring your candidacy or what?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Mr. So, who does saying, but somebody
like doing the work? Once we win the second term, CDC. I do since they don't want to yay. That's my old man. But he was yay.
But who the CM player that make you play with me?
I just wanted to just comment on one or two things. It wasn't about the show today.
Somebody got a monitor. Do you have something in the background they're playing with?
Yeah, I think I got my TV on.
Yeah, okay. So if you can just kind of
Mr. So, who the CM player like you call their name?
No, they're doing family thing now. So you don't call the person name. A family thing they're doing.
All right, my name is Aaron Paul. I'm calling from.
I know. But I you come on here, I don't know what happened. Big player, what's up, man?
Yeah, I will find by George one day. Anyway, no. Did you guys watch the video of what happened yesterday? When Mr. Comey went to Calcutta?
I think I saw one. Which one was? You mean the interview? Or the
after he was leaving, when the crowd was chanting, "Oh, you lied to us, you stay on yourself," and stuff like that. But George laughing because I'm talking about his candidate, so he's laughing and stuff like that. But they just go down to tell the people, 6 months in, to the election, the man still not gaining traction, but people still taking him to be a formidable foes. I mean, I'm not in Liberia. I might be in Liberia before the election. I don't know yet, by the grace of God. But, it's clear. It's clear there's only one candidate in the race, and that's President George Weah. And he's going to get a second term because of what he's doing. Okay? I agree, everything is not right. But, you see this man when he go out there to the people, how the people work on him, compared to the other candidates and stuff like that. To tell you that, he's the people's son. They put him there, and he will deliver for them. Rome was not built in one day. And just to close, Costa is in Liberia, and he talked again for the people to go and register in one district. I don't know which district was that. I was at work today, and I just glanced through the video and stuff like that. So, you guys need to talk about it too, because he was criticizing our college grade and CDC youth chairman for taking, groups to places and stuff like that, and chanting battle cries and stuff like that. So I think you guys need to talk about it. That's my contribution. But I'm following the show. I'll be listening.
Yeah, And I think that's a valid point. And that's where sometimes some of us we differ with a lot of things. Because there seems to sort of, it looks like it's a new politics that has been incited into the political discourse in Liberia. I don't know whether that's the way to energize people. Those people, you don't hear them, they don't ask them question why they even running. So these people, they are people who have already made up their mind where their political alignment going to be. So it makes it very, very difficult. Okay, CDC is in Red Barrel. Unity Party, I believe they get black. We saw, no, black or blue. One of the other group, Solidarity Brigade, and all of that. So it kind of like, it confuses people exactly. Nobody wants to set their set apart. But
don't forget about our group. We got a broom. We got a broom.
Okay, yeah, the other man he's sweeping. They brought a broom here. The broom clean all of the deck. They take the broom and carry it back. I don't know what are the deck. I don't know what are they carrying the deck with it.
Still sweeping all around.
They still sweeping. We don't know what.
See a player, Aaron Poblet there, ATS will sweep that play for them. Then I want to test them, man.
Let me talk to you here a little bit. There are some things something is very difficult to detach, and maybe if stand ready to disabuse me if that is a crazy question. I see this. There was a divided house. There were some guys who played with the former soccer legend, who is now the president of the Republic of Liberia, and other people took their positions, which is okay, and other people stand firm with their positions. So let me just hear from you a little bit. Your firm position for the support of this. Whether it's the president, it is the government, is it based on your past histories of attachment, or is it based on what?
Well, it's based wholly and solely about the country. I can tell you that. Even though Josh Weah is a friend of mine, I played soccer with him for 10 years before coming to the States. So, you know, I support him. But most of the time, you know, the criticism that goes against Josh Weah or his government, you know, I mean, sometimes I feel, you know, people are being very, very biased. Because most of the things that are happening in Liberia that people complain about were things that were happening when we were in Liberia.
Will you love to come on video one of these days, Aaron? You're home now. You want to come on here this evening to form part of our conversation? Is that something you want to do?
Well, not today. You guys going to be on Wednesday?
We'll be on Wednesday tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right? We'll be on.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. I can do that tomorrow evening.
Okay, I would love to do that. Just text me your email address. We need to give everybody the opportunity of their political stand. That's the only way we can, because when we begin to shove things down into people's throat, why are you supporting the person? Who you did? You know, those sort of, I don't like also.
You just want people to call you uncover sedition, so you want to bring different sedition to the back for you. That's all you doing, Mr. So.
You see, Sese? Sese,
yeah, I know.
Sese is, I don't know who he has replaced, or he, whatever. Anyway, that's nothing. I wish I was sedition. Who don't want to hang out with the president? Everybody who don't want to be the Jefferson Code, who don't want to be the benevolent dictator, Samuel Tuwe. Yeah, so I mean, we'll love to do that. We'll love to do that.
You just need to create your own show. Once the champion I call Prince Johnson, Michael Gamer, they will call you. That's all you need.
Well, if that's something I wanted to take the decision a long time, yeah, Ben. But I think in the interest of fairness, we just got to allow. I reached out with them. I met Molu in Liberia since what his name, Professor Zablo left. We are talking to just to have this balanced conversation. That's all. But other than that, our job is to reach out. They want to come.
Can I speak to something that
regular callers and on this network? Yeah, we need to know their inner part too, their decision. What is the attachment? Why it can be detached? We just need to know. I'm just curious that. So,
can I speak to something that Aaron, that Mr. Poblet said, and I think it ties into what to the end what Samuel Babajua said. And I listen keenly. CM player always say, hats off to you. You were some of the guys who, when the world was fighting, when we were traumatized, we used to go watch you guys on the ATS and SKD, and they forget about our problems. So thank you for that. I always say thank you for that. That was a national service. Whether somebody believe it or not, for me, it was a national service. So thank you for that. But I think there's a point that Aaron Poblet made that also what's his name, Babajua made. As Aaron said, that most of the things that happen in Liberia has been happening before. And sometimes the judgment that we make is biased. And Baba Jua said to me that when the 2017 election was coming up, we used to tell them, don't vote for George Weah. But we never told them why not to vote for George Weah.
It's a very critical point.
And those are two major points, because when we forget, if we are just campaigning against somebody, which is what seems to be, and that is why the CDC will always say people hate George Weah, because it always sounds like people are campaigning against George Weah versus campaigning for their candidates, versus telling liberal people what they would do and not just laying everything at the feet of George Weah, even though they promised us hope for change. But we understand that system takes forever to change. And I think that's the point Aaron is making. And the other point that Baba Jua was making is that when we're telling people to go and vote for our candidate, we ought to be able to sell our candidates on why people should vote for them. I think those are two big things that we need to look at. Everybody needs to look at, because I think that's where we're missing the mark. And that is when our conversation, our political conversation becomes so toxic, because people go to talk about other candidates in a negative way versus talking about their candidates. And I think this is where all these acrimony come back. So that's what I picked up from conversation. That's what I picked up from Baba Jua's conversation, that voters education, even if I'm against the presidency of George Weah or the CDC, I do not have to go and say, LUC pipe is all rusted like George Weah fought. No, it's been rusted for a long time. Yes, system takes time, but how can my guy change that real fast? I think those should be the conversation we'll be having. And I think that's what I got from what Aaron is saying and what Baba Jua said.
What a critical analysis. And I think we have been having this sort of conversation in a different context, different shift here, because it's all about persuasion. If you say he is sedition and you can't afford to have a dialogue with him why he should come in your direction and just say, don't vote for that man, don't vote, as far as his understanding, you are not providing anything meaningful to give him a second thought to say, okay, you know what, call me tomorrow, we can talk about it. And this is where the lack of political tolerance in our political conversation nowadays, if you're just going to tell me, don't vote for the person because the person wearing $10,000 shoe, who told you say, I don't even want to wear $20,000 shoe? Of course, if I have the resources, I would do it. But we are being very people, and this is driving all of people away, this surrogate. If you have your candidate, and that's I observed that about you here, when we talk to her, I say, oh, well, my guy is going so play. That's how you insert your person. That's how you sell your person. But you take 90 minutes, 20 minutes of your time and say, Joy, we are not there. Joy, we are not there. CDC not there. Give me a break. So what is about your candidate? What are you telling me about your candidate? You're not providing alternative, and I think that's where the disconnect. But Aaron, I really want you to join us here. Like you said, you have the time tomorrow. Any other questions?
Yeah, I will, Mr. So, but just one last point. The other day, when Stanton Waterspoon came on his show and made that allegation about the money and stuff like that, Pap George, Pap Marley, the progressive liberal, Mr. Cole, they all were saying, oh, you got it right, you got it right.
So we can face
Since Stanton made that comment on that allegation, have you guys heard anything?
Come back tomorrow. We will face one another.
That's a distraction. I said that.
Okay, I know you said it. But at this point, Mr. George was the one who was saying, "Oh, even though
I do not run away from anything."
Stanton did, where he did, but he still got it right to make comment. We got to know whether the comment is true. And actually, those guys on their show that night, they commented on that issue, and they said they're not going to buy into Stanton, thing that he was doing. They're going to pay attention to exactly what they were doing.
So is that mean that
thanks guys. I'll be with you guys tomorrow.
Wait. Okay. You said they said that they were not going to buy into it.
Hello, Mr.
Is that a denial?
Mr. Joyce. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
The crew papa say he came away for nothing. He said, yeah, he came away for nothing.
The trouble in our country is not going away here now. Nobody get banana leaves. Nobody get banana leaves skin.
He wants to stay on, but he want to make a remind and go. So I gotta come back to him. If they say that they cannot come on it, they will not buy it. Is that me a denier?
Let me contact with them.
But they gave their reasons why they were not doing it. So I mean, we.
They said they will not. They said will be a distraction. So they said we're not. They didn't say we didn't take. They didn't say they're not happy. It's like you asked me, I said no.
So are they suggesting say it happened? Is that why? So how you understand that to be?
Or if that means something did happen. Why
so
you
like
why
in
you
the
don't
case of,
on it?
So you know, I don't want us to buy into this.
So I ask you, why you don't want to comment on the
story.
subject that someone accused you for?
Me, I just tag with on get on the car again, so you can talk to on the phone and go so far jog again.
Yeah. If you get pressure, you on your own. Not LPR won't get no insurance here for that.
Let me say something.
But yeah, okay, let's get back to the basis of our conversation here. Quickly, let's do a quick run through here from Baba Duat, expiring. I think one of the things that I've admired was his consistent reach out. You know, it didn't work out. We've been talking about this thing here. It didn't work out to appear, but he never, I think over 3-4 times today, he called, he sent a message. Hey, can we still get it done today? You know, so as such, there is some sort of seriousness. You know, there's some sort of seriousness, and we give them the opportunity, and we are looking up to have many other people in that direction. Sister, you came very strong, pushing, and at the end of the day, you kind of like neutralize it. What were you trying to achieve?
Well, what I was trying to achieve is that we're going to get in political season. I'm going to be on here holding people accountable for political decisions they made in the past, and how can people trust them with the future. It's not just going to be about CDC or whatever. And I realized that if I'm going to do that to other people, I cannot sit on the sidelines with my own little brother. I don't hold him accountable, because this platform is where we come to be credible, to be authentic, and to hold everybody accountable equally. And so for me, that was the point. And I think Baba Joe is still listening. We've had some conversations. I've actually ignored a lot of his calls because I was not happy with him. But like I said, I was looking for, and I think he answered that question. I was looking for, what is different now? What is different? What does he know now that he didn't know back then when he made those decisions? And one of the things I don't want us to do, that I'm going to be holding people accountable for here, is that people who just hop around from political party to political party because you can't win the primaries in this party, or you don't have the party will not carry you for, whatever inter-party reason, you jump from there, you go to another political party, right? And that was why I was asking him, is he leaving because the CDC could not carry him? And he's telling me, and he's telling the people, everybody, that no, that's not a reason. He's leaving because the ideology does not match up anymore. And for me, I think that is a sign of a maturity. When your ideologies stop matching up, instead of just staying there and dying inside, and just being a different person just because you want to align the party remain supreme, you move away and you go away. And I think that for me is a sign of maturity on his part. But beyond that, I've seen him with the kind of work he's been able to do, coming out of college, doing his nonprofit work and all the other things. And like he said, his personal story is a very good story. I don't think he says that a lot. He only said some of those things when I was going at him to tell him, see, brother, you know me, I got married at age 23, and he still has his family. He got married at 23. And he still has their family together, and he's taking care of his siblings. So for me, that is the kind of candidate I will support. Even though I've withheld my support from him for a long time, that's the candidate I will support with my money and my time. Because he's shown to me that, yes, he made some decisions back in the day based on a certain calculation. Now he's saying that those variables were not what he thought they were. Therefore, he went back and recalculated. And now this new calculation is yielding different results. And so because of that, he's moving a different way. And I think it was on me. I think it was on me after coming out and pushing him to the wall. And he actually accounting for that. I couldn't just sit and say, okay, now I made a mental account and say, yeah, I made some wrong decisions, so get them by. No, then it's also on me now to say, well, the man has made those decisions. He's accounted for it. Now what? Well, now it's upon me to say, well, yeah, now I understand. And I think and I think I give him credit. I have to give him credit where credit is due. Not because he made those decisions, that I don't own up to the fact that his story is the story, is the quintessential Liberian story of a kid coming from the hinterland, coming to Monrovia to try to find a living. And, you know, we all used to do that. You washing beaches, starting clothes around the community to eat and get people to pay your tuition and stuff. That is the life story of Samuel Babajua. And so to see him at this stage, I think is a success story we all got to talk about. And I think he will make a good representative.
And I think I got to pick. Yeah, Emma Josh, you want to go ahead? You want to say something?
You know what happened? I was touring one time on Bonkande, and I saw this post in the letter he wrote. I don't know him. That was my first time coming in contact with him on Facebook. So I sent him a message, and he immediately responded. So we went back and forth. Then I said, "Oh, we have a station. I would like you. I want to invite you to appear." He said, right away responded, "So okay." So then I told him, I said, "Okay, I will talk to the station manager. We'll get in touch with you." And I called Mr. So. I sent him the information, and Mr. So sent it. Then the day I think was something that it didn't happen. Then he sent me a message. "Oh, what happened? I'm following you." So I said, "Okay." But when I read what he was doing, then I started taking interest in him. I never met him. I never spoken to him before. But the post that I think he was posting, and he was talking about agriculture. Talking about during the 6 months period, Guinea make about Liberia spend about $7 million just pepper importation from Guinea and those places. How much money the Liberians spend? So I said, "Oh, but then this young guy knows something that he's talking about." So that's how come I got in touch with him, and I never knew him, but from what Sister just said about him, his story, his upbringing, I definitely think that he's someone that someone can work with, because what Sister said about him, that is the typical story of many of us. Coming from the rural area, mother never had any form of education, no power. You come to Monrovia, no brother, you on your own, you living at the mercy of other people. And to achieve that is a wonderful story. And I mean, we all coming on young people made some mistakes. But I always say, Mr. So my thing I always say, once you realize that you made a mistake, to come back and say, "You know what happened? What I did was wrong. I'm sorry." I said, that is my problem. I said, once I see someone taking full responsibility of the action, I don't care what you do. I said, I can work with you. But when I see people who do something,
when somebody says
because
I getting the text message when you call quiet and they say, "I'm sorry, you let it go. I take responsibility for everything you're working."
Oh, you're a human being. But I have to see the action in you, not just by seeing it. What's the remote? The remote that you express. Papa, I know you met a young man before. Even what Sister said, he never said, "Oh, people, don't talk to me like that." He never said it.
I saw as a young person, I saw a tolerance in him. I saw a tolerance because Sister really got on his team.
So they're calling my neighbor. That's some people also know people don't come in.
I think I'm punching here.
Yeah. Oh, and goodness. That's the thing we like about the platform. You are a better man from Bonkande, a young boy. But is it that because he passed, I'm going to give him a pass? No. We have to hold them accountable.
So what we did here tonight, and when I asking whether NEC has certified, he said no. So there's certain questions, certain things I decided to hold because he's not a candidate. He exploring the process. But and to be fair to, I saw a good tolerance on his side and some sort of a level of authenticity into his conversation. Especially when sisters start pushing, he said, "Oh," but then I was a student. And we all know passing through that land, there are some things that you can do so that you will capture the attentions of other people so that they will see you to be their voices. But guess what? I am a grown man now. I'm out of college. I can make an informed decision. What I taught then seemed not to be the case, and that's what I'm changing. So do you want to judge me from there still, or are we focusing on how we can move forward ahead to make it? That was a very smart and calculative conversation that he inserted, because the pushing, a man, young man myself were having something. I tried to pet him. This guy from Minnesota, I don't know, you're not clear the snow from your driveway. He there, instead of covering the snow, he was covering the snow on us here on this network. But I think that's the best way to have this sort of a conversation here. Imojoy, is it because of whatever? There's a position for what you name Melvin Cohen, because Melvin Cohen, you can't see him from any distance for whatever reason. God knows.
I can't see Melvin Cohen. I don't want to lay my eye on him.
You don't want to.
He's arrogant and he's corrupt.
Wow.
They Mayor and Melvin Cole, they can't, you just want to raise the public blood pressure with Melvin Cole Billy.
No.
When you go,
I like how Melvin Cole, I watched the video, right? He quoting the Constitution according to him. We are in section so they can block my way. The man trying to build on the road is blocking my way.
I have that tip here with the police. The police.
I represent 1 million people.
Yeah, the message represent 1 million people. Like he don't represent that. I represent 1 million people. But it was so bad that he's thinking. So if Melvin Cole come to your house, Nana, and he want to pass through your door to go to the other side, you said no. You say you're blocking him from going to session. So because the consultation, you get blacking or going to session.
I would contact our guy, our correspondent, so that we have a conversation. Melvin Cole, try reaching. I will try to reach out again too. But he seems to be very strong in the sense that he's been there for a little while now. To the capital, everything in his political favor, especially when it comes to Mr. George. That's your whole area. The area, when I say area, to Bond County. Is there any main challenger for Melvin Cole in Bond County?
This guy would be, if this guy is approved, he'll be challenging Melvin Cole.
What's about the will he be sort of appealing person to the young voters?
Yeah, I don't know.
There are a lot of things, social things influence people's decisions when it comes to voting here, which we cannot just sweep around here. Financial violence heavily going to be employed into this process, because people want what they can get now. The quick fix going to be put into action. That I can tell you 100%. So it is our responsibility, all of us in the media industry, outside of the media industry, and let me be a little bit ridiculous here. The civil society, this advocacy group, they are great components we see in this country and in other places. They heavily involved in the sense that they are strategic to take on critical issues, the bread and butter issues that are confronting the people. But our civil society, advocacy group, they take side, which of course, maybe labor union here, they can do that here. But are they creating that awareness as well to make sure that, they educate the electors as well in making informed decisions? Are they doing that? Or we, even in the media industry, are we having this talking point to the point that we hold these people accountable, or just amusement business we own?
Well, I think though, trade unions and civil societies in Liberia, they have some restrictions on them that other unions like in the West don't have. I think they are barred from endorsing candidates in Liberia and participating directly in politics, in national politics. So unlike the US, where, for example, my union, my union, the educators union, so the national, the NFT, National Federation of Teachers, or the local one here, Education Minnesota, we endorse candidates. And when we endorse candidates, we raise money, we raise millions and put behind those candidates. And we put people out to go door knock for those candidates. We educate our members. We send out flyers to them in the mail and educate them on who to vote for, because we've already vetted those people. We already know where they stand. We even help crafting their platform on how it's going to benefit the educators and education, right? And if you find, like in Minnesota right now, we have a completely Democratic governing structure right now in Minnesota. The governor is a Democrat. He's a former high school PE teacher. The House of Representatives is run by the Democrats. We just flipped the Senate to become Democratic control. And one of the reasons for that was one of the guys who was the chair of the Education Committee, was a Republican. He was very anti-public school and was trying to get vouchers and all kinds of stuff. So we came out, we flipped his district, we defeated him and brought in a Democrat, and now we got there. So that doesn't happen in Liberia the same way. Now, having said that, though, there are these advocacy groups that spring out every now and then, like when somebody died, or when somebody's murdered, or when there's rape. These advocacy group come out and they go to the Capitol, they do sit-ins, and they do all kinds of stuff, rightfully so, to make sure that they advocate for the less fortunate. I think the disconnection there is that they don't then go out to say, well, where do each of these lawmakers stand on crafting out a stronger policy to protect our young and vulnerable people, or to how punishment is? They don't do that. So then they don't go out to say, look, you know what? We, the people who stand against the murder and the rape of this 3-year-old girl in district number 5, because we think that the current representative did not do well enough, we are going out to endorse somebody else. And we will make sure we come out to door knock and talk for the person every day, because we want the person to go in power, because we understand that our children will be saved with this person. We don't do that in Liberia.
Why?
I think this is where the education has to come in. A lot of these groups, when they are being formed, I think this is where some of us now in the media have to start holding them accountable and telling them, yes, you are forming a sit-down, like a sit-in right now with what happened with Gloria Mususka. What is going to be the political action that comes from there? Right? All the women came together to war black, which they did, which was a good thing in solidarity, and went. But what else? What changes, systemic changes, are they going to push through the first branch of government? And I think that's where our advocacy kind of fought us in Liberia, because we do it for an event. We do it for a day or two for a particular event, and then we abandon that, and then we move to the next crisis, and we abandon it, and then the next crisis, and we just hopping from crisis to crisis.
Then the question also becomes, and Amos can come in yet, are we taking a holistic approach to this here? Because it seems to me, when a little daughter, or when a little child from Plenabo, a little child from Totan, from BI, or a little village in Lofa there, in Bon County, in Nima, very few people, only a few family members stand up for them. And I know brand names, all of that factor in here, but it's not being done. It's been done. All of these things is on a temporary basis. We see here, like other action, when things happen here, people to go all out. You know what? We think it is this lawmaker, or it is this party is not doing that, and they go out vigorously, go on the issues, but that is not happening. And I don't know whether there are going to be any change in that sort of conversation. Amos George, let me just add a little bit layer here. We in the media industry as well, we are not exempted to this here. I'm wondering now, this is going to be a heavily contested process in Liberia. Both houses and the executive branch of government. Is there any independent group that can create a conversation? Thereby, all of these people that are contesting, all of these people that want something, is there a way that they can have a real national conversation so that they will be given the opportunity? But is that possible? Is there any institution that on top of your head that you think that can do that, and that the public will be able to get a clear-cut picture?
No. And what's this? Let me just add on to it. I think we need to start to rethink. All the pressure groups, if you look, basically they are just based in the capital city and few provincial cities. That's it. And they spring up when something happened for that 1 week, 2 weeks, that's it. What we need to do is to create an awareness education and organize people in the 16 different counties. That's why needed. Because when you have this group in those counties, then they will start focusing, they will be educated, informed to start focusing on the representative. When something happens in a district, they will say, hey, who is the commissioner in that district? What did he do, or what is he doing to stop this thing from happening? And if those groups start putting pressure on those people, then it will be important before people take a step, they'll start thinking about these groups. But when they do anything, there's nobody there. People just make noise on the radio, then it stops. So they get away, they get a pass. And that is the thing we should be contemplating on doing. Organizing the people in the different cities, Basel, Bom, Lofa, Nima, in this area to create that awareness that, hey, you cannot wait for people in Montreal to make noise before you can make noise what is affecting you. But you don't want who is here. So if the people in Montreal move, you not move. This is the kind of thing we're supposed to be doing. For the media, there's a big problem, Mr. So. Poverty is knocking at the door of many media homes, houses. So someone will say, hey, my man, I ain't want to bother with that thing. I was teaching, ain't got money. You say they want the government will not give you a contract. So there are other impediments that so many institutions are afraid to play a certain role in Liberia. But like we are here, we don't insult anybody, but we say what we think is right. Because we are not looking for advertisement from the government to give a contract, commercial contract. They are not giving it to us. So maybe if you decide, you can just say, well, I just close it.
Oh, you want to say government, opposition giving it to you? Nobody giving it.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Advertise. We are open to any candidate who wants to advertise. It's not going to be free.
But the government used that also as a weapon. That this media house will not get a contract. They will struggle on their own, saying they want to talk. They know all. So you got to make the sacrifice if you want to do those things. Your conviction must lead you. But if it is not so, it's just a vicious cycle.
Okay.
Something happens today, few people come out the big north, they go back. But when it is consistent, then it also creates a problem for those who are in authority. They say, hey, if you do this thing happen. If you don't take stand, these people will put someone against you.
But I think Mr. Josh, I think that's the other side of the coin, right? But I think media houses could do much better, and they might not have to be, they don't have to take sides, and then they don't have to draw the eye of the government or the opposition. So, for example, simple thing when aspirants come on our platform. You ask them where they stand on certain things. So, for example, when I was growing up, civics was the thing. I learned civics in Cathedral. So, was said by a national act that civics is no longer taught in schools? And if it is, or if it is not, we can hold candidates that come on this platform and say, look, we are talking about voters' education. We're talking about how people vote without knowing what they're voting about. Where do you stand that your first legislation that you vote on will be to make it mandatory that the Minister of Education cannot change going forward, that civics becomes a required course in Liberian schools? I don't think that's an opposition or imposition thing, right? I don't think that would draw the ire of the government. And if you talk about, for example, the issue of people coming with fake diplomas and degrees, you can have a way to say, how do we audit and how do we make that, even if it's a misdemeanor? Nobody in CDC will say, no, we want that piece. But when you try to make it like a side us versus them thing, then yeah, you have a problem, and it's unnatural. So looking at rape, for example, should we up the ante on the rape law? Should we edit it and amend it to make it even stronger? Those are things we can hold people accountable for. And those are things I think pressure groups can still push for without being anti-government or pro-government.
So I'm going to be playing the tape here. Another aspect I want us to talk to here, this is something that we see here as in most cases here, I'm not sure what are the folks in the first branch of government who are not within the ruling establishment. I want to get a pick from you guys. Are these guys say are they doing enough? Or are we just drawing conclusions? If I go to this person, they're not going to listen. Oh, they will never listen. But are they doing enough to the extent you heard what his name said? Baba Jua was saying here. It's just insufficient to say you don't vote for him. You don't vote for him. Okay, I shouldn't vote for him. Why should I vote for you? Or why? What are the reasons for which you don't want to vote? I'm asking this to say to get to even member of the ruling establishment in both house of government. Look, I understand you for CDC, but I'm in Mosorado. I am a representative from this district from for Liberty Party, for Unity Party, for ANC, ABS-NN. Are they having the kind of conversations, taking a holistic and national approach to issue, or is it just been personal? You're from CDC, you on your own. You're from Liberty Party, you on your own. You're from LPP, you on your own. To some extent, we see parties here, they have lunch, they have dinner, and sit even outside of the parliament to have this sort of conversation and look at some things that they can work on. But the bitterness, the resentment, the animosity, it's just too much. They are not having that. And that also plays out outside of the capital. So as a result, we don't achieve anything.
But Mr. So
is that part of the problem? Do they need to improve
a little bit? Let me push back a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is happening in Liberia is not strange. Let me give you one example about there are certain lawmakers in every parliament can talk to one another, but there are certain lawmakers, they will not speak to one another. Look at our national legislature. Marjorie Green, a Republican from Georgia. You think a Democrat want to talk to Marjorie Green? No.
So are all the types in Liberia, they are all Marjorie Green type?
No, I'm saying that these things, I told you, I said, in every situation, there are some members of parliament who can talk to one another. But there are certain, they will not talk to one another. And I just name it here like Marjorie Green. Jim Jordan.
Oh boy.
From Ohio, that Republican, Jim Jordan. What kind of Democrat want to talk to Jim Jordan? Marjorie Green. So it's just like that. But there are some.
Where's the other cocky hair man who nominated Trump to be the speaker from Florida? Gay. What his name said?
Matt
Gaetz. Everywhere getting up.
So they have one other guy from Texas. The old man from the Republican. That one, they're kicking out of the house. Those are people.
There's a guy from the another face guy. I don't understand.
So it's just like that everywhere. But in the House or in the Senate, Mr. So you can look at the people debating. What do the people proffer for the constituency? In the Senate, look at the people. What they proffer? That someone in Bunker will say, you know what, the issue that Senator Henry Toba raised, if we got to push him, because if it passes away, it will help us. No. You don't see the guy doing it. The best thing to talk about is when it comes to money building at all. That's all. Even lots about the talk about decentralization. How many of them pushing that thing? They'll say, you know what, let that law will pass. Let us try to enforce it, or let's try to amend that law to give it more. So
talking about this decentralization, talking about the decentralization, I think you're around 1985, what happened? The NDP or the Doe administration was pushing towards moving the capital, right? Mm-hmm. And that is still, I think, is still there.
That even started during the Toba administration to move the capital.
They started working,
they even were moving the RIA to somewhere around Cary. They already purchased the land to move the airport to all the way deep in Bond County to Cary.
So why all of these critical issues can be revisited and see the advantage and disadvantage and all of that involved?
People got no plan for the country. They got no plan. It's all about their pocket.
So the people that are responsible for legislation, if they are not pushing that, can executives shove that in their throat?
Oh yeah, if you have a good executive, that's why I say if you have a good executive, then city will come in. The executive can put the people against them.
Do we have a bad executive?
This airport, we want to build it here.
Do we have a bad executive right now?
Your representative doesn't want to do it. So they deprive you upon county of this development.
Emon George.
The citizens will get on their representative. That's how you put them. But the
Emon George. Do we have a bad executive right now?
Well, I will not say it's bad. It's bad. Because if you have an agenda and the Senate want to block you, why not put the people against the Senate? So you can be a clean guy.
How you going to do that? Is that workable in Liberia?
No.
With all of the tons of things that you just explained, is that workable that the executive can easily put the people against you?
Persistence and persuasiveness. You think if you went to Grand Gideon and told the poor Grand Gideon, I'm going to put I'm going to make it this place the headquarters of the southeastern region. That people from Maryland, Sando, Grand, who will come here to process all the documents. Final document, they can send it this way, and everything will come here, will be processed and send it back to them. This is what we call, this is the job we will create. But your senators are not in support of it.
Okay, there's 20 minutes to go. Let's play this video here. Let's see here. What are these going to resonate? That's the politics of the day now. You got to get crowd behind you. You got to get people. What does that really translate into the actual vote needed to put you to the finishing line? Senatorial hopeful, as far as we are concerned, Mr. Hendron Costa arrives in the country. Apparently, he went out there today to register. Before he left, I reached out to see whether we want to have a conversation. Our request was declined. At some point in time, they hope to have it. And I'm going to blame you guys here because I was talking here and you're bringing in this free press and nothing, you're bringing in liberties. And this is one of the reasons all of the people are not coming because they have their own outlet where they feel very comfortable at ease to have this conversation, which is a good thing. But he arrives in the country.
Don't blame us. Hendron Costa came here the last time. He came here with no day anything to him. He was happy, and he told us when he go to Liberia, he will be glad to come back on the show.
You said something that you brought in. So maybe I want you. I'm breaking it all again. So you say something, then he will call in. Ain't that you said something?
No, I'm in a different mood.
So let's play this here and see.
The praise is a lawyer. Body says it's the praise. The praise is a lawyer. Body says it's the praise. Yeah, great. This is from Bishop. I've got a team of reporters, and we are here live at the PJ City Hall, bringing this live program where you have come to partake in the biometric voter registration exercise. So, how do you feel as a patriotic Liberian come to partake in this process here in Liberia?
I feel very good. It's good for our democracy. This is what we've waited for years. The opportunity is ours. I want to encourage people to register to vote. It's very important. When you do not register, you cannot vote. And when you do not vote, you have decided. You have decided against yourself. You have decided against your children's future. So it's incumbent upon all of us to come out to register to vote. That's why we're here tonight.
So currently, how many team members you brought to register the vote here?
There are lots of people, and more people are coming. We came with some friends from the U.S. and some of our people from here as well. They accompany us to register to vote.
So, Chief, for how long you are expected to be in the country?
This is my country. I live here. So it's how long before I go back and come back, but I live here.
Okay, today you have come to register in Mosirado, district number 5. And in 2017 election, you contested in district number 6. So why now you have come to register in district number 5 instead of district number 6 where you contested?
There's something called the vicissitudes of life. People can change, people can move to different localities, people can. So now I live in district number 5, so which is why I'm registered in district number 5.
Of recent, we witnessed the CDC youth league chairperson who also went to district number 8. He was accompanied by a lot of citizens to obtain his voter registration card. Many people found out it. People were like saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have been." That is a complete violation to the electoral processes in terms of carrying a lot of people to go and register in another constituent. And now we are seeing you are the second person. So far, so good. As per the records, who have come with a lot of members behind you, and you just alluded that they will all come to register. So tell us, is it that because you're one of those? I'm on record that who also front against the sedition for taking a lot of people at the district thing to go and get their voter registration card. And now you have also come along with a lot of people to district number 5 to come and get the voter registration card. How can you reconcile these two reactions?
You're comparing apples and oranges. The individual that you're talking about went with a preconceived mindset to create havoc. And havoc was unfortunately created, people were hurt. Do you see anyone here who looks at the area to make trouble? No, we're peaceful people. We have a history in the COP of being a non-violent group. We believe in peaceful conduct. And that's why we're here in a very peaceful manner. We stay in the line, we get registered, and we will retire to our various homes.
What specific message you have brought from the United States of America to Liberians now you are in the country?
Same message I have always preached. The time has come for us to register so that we can vote on October 10th, and we can send a message clear to this regime, and we can make the change that we all have been yearning for. That is the same message.
Who are we going to see on the ballot in terms of Herod Costa? Who are we going to see on the ballot? Is it going to see as who on the ballot?
Are you going to contest for the senatorial seat or settle for fasting a barrelship?
You see, there's certain things in life that are within our control. I can decide whether I'm running for senator. That's what I'm running for. But I don't get to decide whether I run for vice president. To be vice president, you cannot have an ambition to be vice president, right? You have to be picked or selected by the person who's running for president. That person has to have confidence in you. That person has to be able to know and appreciate that you can help them win. So as far as I'm concerned, I am going to be on the ballot. For what I'm going to be, hold on. For what I'm going to be on the ballot, that is what God to decide. But I will be on the ballot. You can rest assured.
So Chief, your recent happened.
Joseph Boaga, you are not picked for the vice presidency.
I will be on the ballot. Whatever it is, I will be on the ballot.
Will you support Joseph Boaga if you're not picked as his running mate?
I support Joe Boaga. My support for Joe Boaga has never been conditional.
Prior to your coming to Liberia,
never been conditional.
Prior to your coming to Liberia, you went on your Facebook page denigrating that's the political leader of the MDR, Jeremiah Gomes.
That's what I honor the breach. Stop flocking the dead horse. It will not resurrect. Let's move forward.
Okay, Chief. So what is the reason why you later went back to apologize on your same Facebook page? Okay,
Chief, a recent group of opposition political parties came out to now and go against the census result our population out.
We are about to go on the breach. And I think
a simple breach.
I don't know which are the breaches, but it was and there was another guy. He asked a very
the Maserati breach.
There's another guy. He asked a very good question, and this is where people becomes kind of judgmental, not knowing what to do, and sometimes your own things catch up with you because somebody, the politics in Liberia is such a different thing, and everybody doing their own thing, and that's the sad thing about it. If I'm going to register, I don't know how many people does that here. I know because of their own involvement in society, well, they need one or two people, but everybody used to this sort of crowded thing here. And so people draw an assumption, and that's what that journalist was pushing because it was all over the place. Okay, but there's a way they do that too to also create that political intimidation. But when one side do it, we scream, we complain, maybe Koji or Josephine. And that was a question the other guy was asking. But overall, yeah, the little interaction here, what did you gather from there? Because you're asking for some poor breach or on the Gabriel talk or whatever.
Well, no, the simple breach.
First of all, was that a valid question to that journalist asked?
Well, yeah, definitely.
Good.
And look, he tried to make it look like he want to put intent into the action. Those other people that came here, they came with a preconceived intent on violence. Look at our people. Do their faces look like they look violent to you? Buffoonery. That's what I call it. You have to be fair and transparent. If you think carrying crowds around will create problem, then you don't carry it. You don't say, oh, my own people, we took vaccination against violence, so we're not violent because that virus not in us, we took vaccine. That's crazy. So what if there have been seditions out there today that were going to, say something? You think the people are not going to act? They're going to act. But it's because nobody is taking him seriously as a political contender. That's why he doesn't have the commotion that happened with other people. I still say, if Henry Costa had shown up alone, the whole social media was going to go crazy. The man get no supporter. Look how he won't go register. It was going to be the same thing. But I just have a problem when they condemn things that they themselves know that they will do later on. And the issue of Jeremiah Kuhn, that is under the St. Paul Bridge, one of the St. Paul Bridge that going towards Attington way there, or the St. Paul Bridge that in Bon County way there, because the men are both Congo and
why you just send it to Lofa? You decided to send it to
the men are Congo, man. So one of them
no.
St. Paul Bridge.
No, hold on. That is St. Paul Bridge.
That is 0.4.
That is St. Paul to 0.4 there.
Yeah, but I want to say, I'm not going Attington way there.
He wanted to go Bon County.
But they want in Bon County too, that the other one too.
That one between Nema and Bon.
No, there's one between Lofa and Bon on your side. That's
not too far out. He right from that St. Paul River playing there.
But why you wanted to be in Bon County?
But on a serious note, does Henry Costa really believe that coming on his platform, which has a lot of followers, and spewing very horrible accusations against somebody, he's just going to say, we quote unquote can't flog that dead horse, it will not resurrect. By the way, we don't have that many horses, are not popular in Liberia. Just say we can't flog that dead dog, it will not resurrect. Because I don't want to plenty in Liberia. He thinks people are just going to say because he apologized, he did not retract his statement. Apologizing for an outburst and retracting the content of the outburst, two different things. And if he thinks that people are just going to lay low and let that fly to say we ain't beating that dead dog, it will not resurrect, he got something else coming. And this is where sometimes I ask people, who are the advisors to these people? Who are the strategic advisors to these people? Because the more he refused to lay this thing to rest clearly once and for all, the longer the lifespan he gives this thing. You can't just say, oh, we talk about it, and but you came out and said you apologize for your outburst, not retracting the statement, not saying that my statement against the senator was false, was misleading, was a lie. I take that back. None of those. So as it stands right now, he wasn't sorry because he said it when he was angry, but he's not sorry that he said it, that the content of the outburst, he stands by it. That is a problem.
Crewman that crewman kill it. Peleman kill it. I said it the other night that Henry Costa had not taken full responsibility of that statement he made. And that's why we say self-control is important. Why will you allow your emotion to take over yourself? You sit on that platform that got maybe how many million, 5 million people, I don't know how many million people listen to you in Liberia. And you sit down there and say something horrible about somebody that you had not, that did not do anything to you. But because of your ambition, your over ambition to become vice president, you think that person is a storming black in your way, and you decide to go and eviscerate them and say a horrible thing about them. And you want some of us to say, oh, that we can't beat it. No, we'll beat it. Until, I said the other day, until let him go back on that platform for me to say, look, you know what happened? I'm retracting this today. I am sorry. I regret every word that I said against this man.
Would that ever happen? Will it ever happen? Will it ever happen, guys?
Well, Henry Costa is very proud. He will not do it.
So the other company,
I expect maturity out of Henry Costa. I've seen him grow from the days.
Let him prove me wrong.
From the days he was on radio in Monrovia, when at one point in time he used to be very vitriolic and using languages against the female head of state. He's grown from that point to now. You know, we got to give it that. So it is my hope. He got his many pluses. I'm hoping that he will, you know, actually see reasons to retract the statement.
Well,
and just move forward.
I will be brutal. I will be brutal.
In a closing argument, for the most part here.
You say he had grown on it. This man had not grown on it. That man sat down the other day and just cussed women. He cussed a little girl because this guy and his friend had some problem. Excuse me for the language. He told the girl, like, prostitute was another word he used. You use an H word on that girl. Because simply the girl and Mo Ali has some problem.
So lastly here, before we go, you heavily involved into politics here as well. And we see the political tolerance, maturity, all of that. For example, when the Democrats or Republicans, at some point in time, if one of their own went to the extreme, you see some hardliners coming and distancing themselves from some of these ridiculous comments. I don't see that happening in our country. Both sides, be it the governments, the oppositions, everybody pull a defiant face. Why are they not doing that?
Omen Boaka have not said any, none of them, Mo Ali, none of them call on him. The only person that has said something, or Martin Colley, who went on Henry Costa platform and said something. But still, these people.
You left Comey out. Is that on purpose?
I like Henry Costa. I want him to change. But if he can't change, I will continue to preach this message that you got to be disciplined.
So you call Boyka, you call Benela Ure, who else?
Mr. Comey, he's not from the party of Mr. Comey. He don't hear insulted Mr. Comey, so Mr. Comey don't even want to go down that route with him. But the people that he support every day, he said Joe Boyka that he pop it, that he fire, he can call the talk. Why Joseph Boyka cannot condemn that action? If Joseph Boyka condemn that action, that means he will not get the support of Costa, or he will not become president, if at all. Why?
Hussein Accra, he versus Senator Sir Joseph. Anybody want to make a prediction?
So let me say this. You know me, you know, I'm not too politically correct. Most time people say, you know, sometimes you got to speak in circles. As it stands right now, with the senatorial aspirant from the ANC that's been here, we've grilled her, and based on what she says and what she thinks she's able to do and what she stands for. And looking at what Costa has said so far that he stands for, I don't see many other people that have come up yet. If elections were held today, I will fully support Sir Joseph, even though I don't support the CDC. And I think Sir Joseph will stand a better chance of defeating them if elections were held today. Now, there might be other people that raise their hand tomorrow, after tomorrow, that change my calculations. But as it is right now, if elections were held today, even though I support Tewan Gonglo for president, I would support Sir Joseph to remain senator in Mosorado County.
So meaning you are willing to work across the political aisle if there are some other folks in other side who potentially, or who are saying with good seasoned message, good vision for the country, you are willing to do that?
I don't like one system of government. Even in Minnesota, where we're celebrating that I'm a Democrat and we got a Democratic control house and everything, I don't like that, because I think it takes away from the substantive argument that's supposed to happen for policy to come out that benefits everybody. I'm not trying to make Tewan Gonglo a dictator where he has all LPP people in the House and in the Senate and everywhere. No. I support Tewan Gonglo because I know he will be the best president, but I also see other people in CDC. CDC is not just a bag of all deplorables. There are good people in CDC. There are good people in ANC.
Let's Amos George validate your argument. Amos George.
No, I will not vote for Sir Joseph. Sir Joseph is a smooth operator. Sir Joseph said that as executive in the Senate, he killed everything that the opposition brings or anything that people bring against the government of George Weah, he grab it and kill it. He's a businessman. I will not support him.
What does he kill specifically, you know?
Oh, many things, Mr. So as he's presiding over the Senate, he goes there when people raise issues, he say he taking it to committee room, that's it. If he once it's against his party, that is the government, he take control of it.
Okay, so he's like a Mish McConnell guy.
Maybe you need to start putting some of those things out because we are not seeing those. Maybe you need to start letting us know what are those things that you hold.
I will find some tips outside Joseph.
Okay, we'll try to reach out. I will reinforce my reach out. You know, like you said, we had ANC Victoria Tola Kwekwe. We reach out to Costa. In the meanwhile, you say declined. I will try to reach out to the senator again. Okay, Aaron, let's get your 1 minute quickly because we are out of time.
Aaron back again?
Yeah. Real quick. You listen to Pat George again. Everything that the opposition said in the Senate, Sir Joseph can kill it. Can he name some of the things some of the bills that were?
Aaron, come on tomorrow. Come on tomorrow.
On the floor.
Aaron, come on tomorrow.
He said he went finally. He will send it to us.
Okay, yeah, please. Let him send it. Let him put it on your website so I can read it. Because I mean, I don't know what Pat George is talking about. Sir Joseph, I won't senator will kill a bill. Since we live in this developed country.
The chairman executive.
Just one senator kill a bill. Please. Tell me, help me out with it, please. Thank you.
I may week here tomorrow. Okay, guys.
Tomorrow I get kept in event. I will not be here, but I will listen to him. I will listen to Pat Drive and my people.
Let us know. So to set up a new rendezvous for the city council guys, so we know. Let us know and see what we can put in place. 30-second, guys. Your parting statement.
My 30-second is Daddy Baby. They cannot reach Sinasho.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Emma George. 30-second. Your parting statement.
Oh, let me say this. And I know many times people think that I hate Henry because I don't like him. No. I admire the young man. But I continue to say he has to change. He has to change. So not being bombastic, especially in politics, sometimes it carries, but sometimes it destroys you. So that's one of the things I always say to him about people who knows him. One time I know someone permanent person, one time from Bonkan, I called the person and say, hey, talk to you know this man, talk to him. Because for me, I can't be going after other people for something, then someone maybe that somehow of my ethnic group doing the same thing, then I say, oh no, I can't speak on it. No, I won't do it. So that's the thing. And what my takeaway tonight is that today it was the day that Martin Luther King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee, making it 55 years since he was assassinated. And I listened, I thought of something. He went to Memphis to raise the voices of the sanitation workers who were struggling of the working conditions of that time. And they called him in because of his status to give hope, to call attention, to improve their condition. Because 2 sanitation workers had died, I think, from the storm. And he went there to raise that issue. The first demonstration they had, the government put people in there. They went to do some destruction. They said, oh, here's a man who wants to not violence. And he look at the destruction he caused, and now about the government. But what I want our people to take away is that we come on this platform. Many Liberians don't have the opportunity, or some will never speak of the issue that are confronting them in the country. So when someone comes to raise the issue, it's not that because we hate a particular government, but we speak on issues that are confronting the country as a whole. So I just want people to take a step back. You can disagree with me, that's fine. But I always say, the children, the mothers, the fathers, who finding it difficult to provide for their children, and they got no voice for someone to say, oh, these people are suffering. What is the government doing? They are unable to speak. So someone will come here to put ourselves in that position to speak on their behalf. So that will be my takeaway tonight. To many Liberians, you can call me any name you want to call me. That's okay. But I surely believe And my conviction that what I say here is not because I hate anybody personally, but I want to raise issue that confronting millions of Liberians who cannot speak in the land and breadth of Liberia. So some of us want to be the voice of those people. And I always say, if that would cost me to die in that process, then be it. But I would not remain silent. Whether the Alexander Committee come to power, whether the Joseph Boakai come to power, I will continue to speak on issues that affect the Liberian people. So, Mr. So, this is my takeaway. And that one that the king was trained when he loses his life.
Okay. Legendary Amos Joy from Atlanta, Georgia. Will you one day visit Marjorie Taylor?
No.
You don't give second chances to people?
No, Marjorie is too extreme. Too extreme.
So no sound of redemption in her?
No. If she coming to watch me, she coming left, I will go right.
Oh. When she coming left, you'll go right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Amos Joy from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for your commitment, not just only to this network, but to the Liberian people. Whether we agree or disagree, we don't sanction voices. And we strongly believe on this network, no one should be left behind in national conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, folks, that does it this evening. Time check here is 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. That's the first branch of government, Republic of Liberia. And I think our conversation needs to focus on this because they provide a check and balances to the executive. If you don't have this branch of government to be strong, to be forceful, to legislate, to hold people accountable, then that's a problem. It's a separate institution, separate branch completely. So in as much we hold the executive, they should be held accountable as well, and that is the judiciary. We will continue to have national conversation here. We say thank you for your commitment to this network. Whether you disagree with us as what, you have the right to do that. That's your political tie. You have the right for that, to make that political argument. But what we do not want to do as a people, as a nation, is to sanction voices and to allow or only allow certain voices to be heard in our political space. Then we are creating a gap, and that gap could be a dangerous one. When people political views or their thinking or their opinions or views are not heard, the outburst is dangerous, not just only to the community, their environment, their neighbors, but to the country. So we are determined to hear all voices and not to be judgmental into people or incite our personal feelings, emotion. That one will not even listen to him. I will not listen to her. Who this one yet? No, he's not supposed to be representative. He's not supposed to be senator. Well, you can decide you don't want to be part. But I think we must give people the opportunity. We must create a room of national conversation. It's because of us, because of our behaviors outside of the bareway. This is exactly what these men and women in the house too, they are adapting that for which they can have a conversation about the country. You can be a sedition, you can be a liberty partisan, you can be a unity partisan. There's one thing that you have in common: to represent your people. You are the torchbearer, and we are in the process to give these men and women a power of attorney. What I voted for, you voted for, or against. Once they become a lawmaker, they have that constitutional authority to legislate, to vote, to make decisions for us, whether we agree or disagree. This is the right timing that we have this national conversation. If we can undo that government of political institutions and put the country first, if the country is being seen as the face cap for us, I think we can do much better. We should start being battle of I can't listen to the woman here. I can't listen to the other man. Why? Because he's from this party, from that party. We are not talking about your home. We are not talking about your personal self because you are now within the public space. We are not talking about what your wife cooked yesterday and what they're going to eat today. I care less. And I don't think that's what Liberia wants to bother with right now. We are talking about a sovereign nation with diverse backgrounds, different political ideologies. So when we are talking about a country, we need to have this solid skin. Just how we question people's credibility, just how we question people's integrity, we can also be questioned. But when we become so insensitive and just sensitive to other people, when we want to be the one to hold people accountable, and people don't want to question us, or we avoid a little thing gets on our skin, then it's not right and it's not fair. And the follower supporter, we need to stop this behavior when somebody is calling and somebody call in to express his or her view, opinions about their country. Cutting off. Why are you talking there so? So, how will you feel? You want me to listen to you, but you don't want to listen to me. I think Baba Joa made a very critical point here. And that's why it's happening. From what I see and following the game of politics, people are unable to make their own argument. They can better interpret other people's wrongdoing than to tell their own good story. And if you can't tell your own narrative, you can't tell your own story, the uniqueness of you, the beauty of you, the characteristics of you, the quality that you have to affect and to perfect changes, if you are unable to interpret that, and you can be the only person to define yourself, but you 100% able to define Aaron. You're 100% able to define Prince, but you can't define yourself. Something is missing. Something is lacking. Why will you know more about Prince than even knowing more about yourself? That's what we see happening. And people even go defend their people and they don't know anything about those people. They don't know what they stand for, what they believe, their political ideology, their basic principles, their core values, their history, their outbringing. And you think you're going to just tell people about that person? No. And I see where the struggle is coming from for people to win people over, because the lack of persuasive method, their intolerance, the lack of patience, they don't persevere, they don't push forward. They talk to you one day and they expect you to say yes. You can't gain no result. And this is what is lacking. Because when you become so intolerant, guess what? Nobody wants to listen to you. And that's what happened the last time around. And it seems to me lesson is still not learned. If you don't want this government, you have to be tolerant. You have to, in fact, then you should work and go inside. Don't call them tiny people. Don't call them these people. Don't say they can't change. Of course they can change. By calling them every day. You and I have a conversation yesterday. This is where we stop. Can we continue that conversation tomorrow? Do you think you must be concrete into your talk, into your talking point? Don't be abstract. Point out specific why they shouldn't vote for Mr. A or Mr. B and draw the contrast. But everybody are temperamental. Everybody getting mad. Everybody mad. Everybody impatient. And you think, so it doesn't matter who is there. Seeing what is happening now. Amen. I wish people can borrow presidency for one day, 1 month, 1 week. Okay, let's try this person and see how it looks like. All of these people, everybody that coming acting like a little chihuahua all over the place here, guess what? They will come here, they will come back the next day tomorrow, knowing what I know now. If I knew then, I would have done that. Yeah, because you are not asking the question, so you're going to come back tomorrow and give these tons of excuses. This is what is killing our country. You don't even go do a test. You don't go do a test to know whether your wife going to get this baby, but you come to a conclusion, oh, The way you're sleeping, so maybe that get ya. Oh, the way you're looking at this, I think about ya. Circumstantial. We are not doing our country good. We are unable to even stand and ask our own, why are you making this decision? Why you didn't say this, Mr. X, Mr. Y said this? Why you didn't say anything? What is your stand? What is your position? Do you agree with him? Do you agree with her? As long I'm a sedition, it's cool. I'm long as a unity partisan, it's cool. I'm long as I'm a ANC, it's cool. I think we need to go out there and fish for the quality. It doesn't matter which party they represent, but as long as they are Liberians, their vision for the country, their ideas, we can do that. But we have so many outlets. And the politicians are very calculative. They did that on purpose for which they get their own outlet, because they are there to preach, to send their rare meat, to preach their soundbite. And this is why when we call them, they know places to go and places not to go. Not that we don't reach out, but sometimes they want you to outline question 1 to question 10 to say this is the question or this is a specific thing to talk about. And that's what we don't do here. It's fair to say to give you an outline of a conversation. So why should I sanction myself? Why should I restrict myself? When you say something and the audience, we are obligated to pass that to the audience for the audience to be informed, to make an informed decision. So you are literally telling me I should not ask a follow-up question. And we are good at asking an open-ended question where you will provide explanation. And part of that is for us to get a clear sense, to also help to vindicate yourself. We are about to make a consequential decisions in the country. And some of the trouble that we're having is this building behind me here. It's a building. Are they willing to have a conversation regardless of their party affiliation? Is Senator Nyombi Kanga one day, okay, let me see, even though I for Grand Basso, but let me pay a courtesy call on Senator Sir Joseph. Okay, this drama too much here. Akaragre, let me call what his name says, Yeke Koluba. Even though I'm from Sanoya, but let me go and have a conversation about this with a person from Bon County. It's a gradual process. Gradual process. Put out your own legislations and give it to another colleague from different person. Here, take a review. What do you think? Or we are all on the same committee, even though you're from Bon County, for Grand Judah, is this something that you can support? But I need your idea, just in case you can incorporate your idea and we can work on plans, something that is agreeable, something that is applicable. Even though Bon County is a different county, Grand Judah is a different county, but there will be some commonalities and you can sort it out here, being that you guys on the committee, and you can push it through. That's how it works. It's not how long you stay in the House, not how long you stay in the Senate, not how long you endless press conferences without results. That's not what we're going to calculate. That's not what I'm going to take into consideration. I'm going to look at the legislations that you push that have passed and making impact into the lives of the people. Not every morning, afternoon, you come on Spoon TV, Fog TV, LPR, Visions, all these proliferations of news outlets. And then people click out of the likes. And at the end of the day, no fruit, no result, no legacy. What you want as a politician's legacy. You must focus. There must be something. You must have a goal. You can't just be, it just can't just be objection. Who remembers people, everything that he did? People? No. Nobody's going to remember you on that. When you come in Massachusetts here, there's a thing that people remember of Ted Kennedy. When you talk about Barack Obama now, they're talking about affordable health care. Those are legacy. These are things that you leave people feel, they touch, they impact people's lives. It's not how many times you're going to cost people, not how many press conferences from January to December. And this year I held about over 1,000 press conferences. Okay, you had the press conferences. What is the ultimate result? What is the effect of it? So we need to distinguish now quality and quantity. I am all for quality and not all for quantity. And if we can do that, if all of us can take a break and take a deep breath, I'm a Liberty partisan. I am this party. I'm that. But can we consider Liberia a little bit as a nation, as a country? Yes, I support you as a sedition. I support you as a Liberty partisan. But this decision, this vote here is not a vote for the country. It does not. It does not represent your constituent. Why you think Senator John McCain left his sick bed and went to Capitol and they had thumbs down? He take into consideration his constituent and the country. It was in party. He was being more nationalist. How many of people can do it? It's both sides. All Liberty Party people, everything that does in the bidding is satisfy their curiosity. So when other people do it, then we complain. It doesn't work like that. Politics is give and take. Give and take. So why somebody can't take the bull by the horn to say, hey, let's form a neutral group. See what is unfolding here. Let's engage the executive branch of government. Let's engage our colleagues in both House and Senate. Let's see what we can do and work out things. In as much there are big political differences, what can we do to get this thing done and one and for all? We only become reactionary when something happens and everybody scream and yell, and then at the end of the day, 1 or 2 days, it's submerged. It's because we are unwilling to have a conversation with one another. And we think we're going to affect changes, so it doesn't matter who goes in there today or tomorrow. If we don't change our directions of thought, how we see things, how we view things, how we accept things, our willingness to accommodate this and swallow some bitter pills for the good of the country. It doesn't matter. You take Obama, Bill Clinton, and enter the bushes, you carry them tomorrow, it's going to be the same thing. So this billing here is what we need to be questioning as well. We are in the process to empower people for 6 years, for 9 years. Think about your age right now. Some have been there for 9 years, 8 years, okay. But we are about to give the authority again. What should we be doing at this time? To have a civil conversation, to be tolerant, to be patient. Because when you do that, you listen, you get the real inner part of the person. Because when you come with fitiato, everything want to end fitia, and then everybody get mad and then you go. You don't achieve anything. But you want good result. How can you have a good result when there is nothing? This is why the civil blind men call conference. You know why people sit around the table to have a conference, dialogue, is to listen to your disagreement and listen to my disagreement and listen to his agreement and listen to her agreement. And we put all together and we kind of streamline them to see which one is applicable to the conversation on the talk that we are having. We are not doing that. We are not doing that. We're parting problem over problem to no resolution. And we think it's just going to be something that's going to change. That's not going to happen. That changes lies within ourselves. Kia bon kia don't bon door. Kia can only bon kia door with only bon door. So I see the changes come from us. We got to be serious. We have to put it into action. We have to call out people that we support of their wrongdoing and not, and more or less we must put the interest of the country first. Unfortunately, that's not the case. People are talking because there is some sort of something at the end there. So for this reason, nearly everybody literally are compromised. They push their own agenda, demonize other people. Conspiracies, lies, make-up story, falsehood, subliminal messages. No facts, nothing. The sources can never be, their sources can never be referenced to a news outlet or any incredible people. They look up and just make up story and say, this is what's going to happen. I'm glad that some of people are now calling on people to go and register to vote. Stop thinking about whether election going to be rigged or not. You don't have no evidence to prove that any election going to be rigged. You are discouraging to your supporters. You are literally telling them no need to go there, sir, because the people are going to take it. What sort of strategy is that? Who is advising you people? Your job now is to start doing robocalls, start doing encouraging people, using media outlets, messages, texts, chat room, whatever tool that you can use to galvanize your base. That should be your main strategy, because you can have 50,000 people. If they are not registered, they will not vote. And if they do not vote, you are not going to win. So precondition to whether election will be rigged or not, encourage them. This Donald Trump type of behavior has been heavily transported into our politics. The election will be rigged. So you are just conceding, and other people are working. You need to encourage, galvanize your people, whatever 21 day, 30 day, whatever day it is, they go there today. If it doesn't work, get out the next day, go sooner, and make sure they work. Keep a database, know who your people are, connect with them. That's how you win. You don't want to get free thing. It doesn't work that way. So you are discouraging Liberian people not to register to vote because you claim and you believe in your own word that elections, they were regular election. Yes, you have legitimate concern. We need to know the details of the census, but that's a different thing. What's going to determine the results of this of the election is not a census, but when they publish the registered voters, because the census just want to tell us the population, down to the young babies, tell us who we are, where we stand. But there's another component that's going to tell us this is the number of people that are registered, and these are the number of people that are going to vote. So you are mixing it up here so badly and discouraging your people not to register. But I'm glad we are hearing the tone. Go and register to vote. If you want your candidate to win, precondition to that, prerequisite to that winning is to register. That not every citizen in the country can vote. You got to be a registered voter. You reserve the right. You reserve the right not to participate, not to vote. Nobody's going to put you in jail for that. But guess what? If you don't do it, when decisions are made, they're not going to come back to you and ask you whether you agree with them or that. That's how the game works. What, folks? We will continue to have this civil conversation for the good of the country. And not necessarily to tell you what you want to hear, because if we tell you what you want to hear, we will go down the drain, because that you don't want to listen to other people. Okay, you are at liberty to do that. But here on LPR, we intend not to leave any voices behind, because it's about the country. We want to thank you so much for your time this evening. If this is your first chance, we throw a rare carpet to you for joining us, for being patient with us, for being tolerant, even though you disagree with us. But you hang in there, and we want to encourage you. You want to be part of our conversation here? Let us know. We'll bring you here. We are not selective. There's no special group. All of these people, we're not paying anybody. They are volunteering their time, their energy to talk about their country, to express their views, their opinion. We're just here as a facilitator for national conversation. Until then, I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio 10 LPR-TV. Nothing going to hold us back from having these conversations. It is crucial. It is vital for our country. Have a pleasant day. Bye-bye. Limo, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Robert, thank you so much. Kaika Fulat, of course, Nimse Afonso, thank you so much. James Freeman, Mr. Fofana, Babi, John Bonisi, taking the to Liberia Bone County this evening. And my woman from the Empire State, Abu Bebeto Fofana. Abu, good evening. Thank you so much for being always here with us. Prince Peters, what's up? Iya Hussein. Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for your commitment to this network. James Halawanga. Is this James Halawanga? Well, thank you so much. Mr. Copa Kamara. Jala. Western Belson Quia, thank you so much for your time this evening. And of course, our man, Achimo Fabric, Prosper Terry, good evening. Thank you so much for always being here. I appreciate all of you. Until then, folks, this is how we're going to draw the curtain here this evening. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio 10 LPR-TV. We say thank you so much for being part of today's conversation. Join us tomorrow right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. We're going to be right back here with the program All Things Considered. All Things Considered comes your way every Wednesday right here on the Liberia Public Radio. Until then, I am Alfonso Z, so have a pleasant day. Join me tomorrow, All Things Considered, live right here. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We want to thank many of our viewers and listeners for following us, for keeping with us. Despite of some of our talking points is to your political disadvantage, but yet and still you believe in us. And this is why you are always here. Without you, we can't just do it by ourselves. And so we are very, very much grateful of your commitment to this network. It is still incomplete. We have a lot to go. And I want to say a big thank you to all our senior analysts of the Liberia Public Radio. We started at a very low pace from the district level, transition to a county level, and then we took a second thought, why not be inclusive into the political conversations in Liberia? And that's how this name Liberia Public Radio came about. And here we are today. We have great sons, daughters, professionals, scholars coming on board to make this network to be what it is. It is remarkable.
Uma twaga nimetika vuza vya zabazo kono kono gobo maga uwelo ni tupage nimetia nitabazo udamaga ni napage ni napage twaga nuva go unazu ga wose ga nuwara ada yuva ma ama no teni no agokoni tena no agokoni gadate gada galize. I just wanna thank you.